oh, here we go. Because it's designed for Savage Worlds, it will roll. There's another command that uses the letter S, like for Savage, and I'm going to demonstrate it right now in the Legion chatter. If I roll they have a D8 fighting. I'm going to put fighting : I put an S for Savage, and this is for a trait roll for a wild card, and then I put they have a fighting of D8, and I roll S8, and then I have a target number which is going to be equal to the parry of the person I'm trying to hit. So if I've got someone with a parry of, say, 6, I would put S8T6. And I roll that, and I rolled crap. I rolled a 1 on the wild. That was almost a crit fail. I rolled a 2 and a 1. A 2 on the trait die, and a 1 on the wild die. So I'm going to put in spend Benny. I'm going to type this, spend Benny. And I'll put it in again. Fighting with a D8 trait die. And I like to put a little description of what I'm doing in front of each die roll so that I can go back through and be like, what did I roll on that again? What did I roll on that? Notice check or whatever. So I roll it again. That time I got a basic success. Now, if I would have gotten a 10 on either of those dice, so they would have one of them would have had to explode at least. That would be a raise. I'd get a D6 of bonus damage on whatever, yeah. Unless I'm like hitting something like a wall or a barrier or something like that. Because those you can't get extra bonus damage against that, and damage doesn't ace against something like that. That way you can't you can't chip your way through a brick wall with a pencil. Because you can't do enough damage with a pencil. You can't punch your way through a brick wall unless you're really strong. Okay, so try the put the S in there. Exclamation point S. Yes. So there you go. So you have a fighting of D10. There you got a basic success. So you get your base. And then damage is a little more straightforward. It's like exclamation point. Say you got 3d6. You go exclamation point 3d6 exclamation point. Then you can put a target number, which I would probably give you, like the toughness, which would be the toughness of your opponent. And then after that you add any modifier. So if you got say +4 because you got the drop on the person, you could put +4 at the end of it. So damage versus enemy, and I go so I roll 3d6, and the type is in 3d6 exclamation point. And then I'm going to put T, say their toughness is a 12, and I go plus, say I got 4 for the drop, and then I got +2 because I got a Joker or something in that round. You get a +2 on all trait rolls and damage if you get a Joker drawn in combat for you. And I roll that, and then, see that's that. Then right there it actually shows me the damage. It shows me that the person's shaken and they've taken a wound. Now, if that's against an extra, extras can only take an extra, which is like a stormtrooper or a clone trooper, or just or some random Nazi in Indiana Jones, just some random Nazi guy. That guy's off the table. He takes a wound. He's just out. And so everyone, the 3 players who are here are here. Yellowfish will be coming in later. Everyone's going to get at least one of these. The Mars characters are going to get 2, so that's going to be the combat mage and the there's the combat mage and the shaman. And the other character, so there's a shaman, combat mage, and then the other one's a mind melter. Mind melter gets 1 because the mind melter is at novice rank. The seasoned characters get 2. It's 1 per rank. Adventure deck cards. These are cards that give players a little more agency. And are we streaming? Is anyone watching this right now?
We're streaming. I got a couple viewers. Not much.
Oh, all right, good. So kind of tell people the adventure deck card.
Okay.
Are we live? Yeah, we are. So everyone, so everyone, put on pants. So
what's your name?
It is on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, and it's This Abstract Thought, all one word, on all platforms.
All right. Well, hope we can make this somewhat entertaining. I'll try. Keep it not be too dry with the explanatory stuff. All right. The adventure deck is something that gives players a little more agency. I'm going to draw one of these cards. I'm going to for the players right now. And I'm going to put them, if I can get my browser window back up without injuring myself, I'm going to put one in each character's slide presentation that I created in Google Slides. So first I'm going to do Gent. Gent is a Mars character, so he's seasoned. I'm sorry, Gent is not. Gent is not. He gets one card because he is a mind melter, so he is novice rank. So I'm actually going to skip that slide. And so Gent is going to get a card. And Gent's card is, Gent got a very good card. Gent got a card called Ace, which is play instead of rolling to automatically succeed at a trait roll with a single raise. Very useful if you need to do a tricky roll, especially one with a lot of penalties attached to it. So what I do is I have the digital version of the adventure deck right here. And I'm going to grab the Ace card and drop it on there, and so it's got the text for that card right on there. Lydos is a shaman. Lydos, therefore, gets two cards, because Lydos is seasoned. Lydos gets Let's Settle This, which is Let's Settle This is play at the beginning of a combat round with no jokers. No character can soak wounds until a joker is drawn. And that's kind of a brutal one. That's one where you're trying to take out some. That works great if you're again in a battle against a demon, like a greater demon that has a vigor of D12 + 2 or something, and every time you hit him, he's just soak, and he just stops taking damage. So you throw that on him, and he's and then now he can't soak your wounds, and everyone just pile onto him. So let's settle this. And now, the rule with the adventure cards is you can play one per session. Unless there's special edges you can take that lets you play more than one. And sometimes the cards will let you play more than one. Some cards will be draw another card, play this card, you can draw another one and get another play. But you can, and other thing is you can trade the cards.
Jeff, live
you can, unless the card specifically mentions that it's for your character, you can play the cards on somebody else. Some cards, it sounds like it'd be something that would, and there's one that's where it doubles the damage of any melee attack. That can be any melee attack, even if it's one that your teammate just made. Now, second card for Lydos is one. Oh boy, I'm going to regret this. I'm going to be sorry. But here it is. Arcane Spike. This card is my nemesis. Every time other groups I've been in, this card's messed up my game. A character with an arcane background, which at last, and this is a character. This doesn't have to be you. You can play this on somebody else so that they can use it. You can also trade these cards anytime you want. Anytime you can play them, or trade them anytime you want during the game. It could be in the middle of a bad guy could be just lining up a shot. They could have already rolled the hit, and you can play the card. Unless the card has a specific time that says you're allowed to play it. A character with an arcane background may cast any power available in their setting, regardless of rank, one time only. I hate this card. I hate it. Because they're just I cast Resurrection, All right. Or something like that, So
I have no background in this system at all. So it's I think I'm following most of what you're laying down.
Just throw it on. Throw out any questions if you have them. So that is Lydos has his cards. Mortis is now going to get his 2 cards because he is a Mars sketchy. Everybody's Mars except for Gent. All right, Mortis gets 2 cards. Okay, Mortis gets, this is a good class. This is a good solid card. Extra effort. Play to add plus 1d6 to any trait roll, and this roll may ace. So that's just a good one to throw out there if you find yourself just needing a little extra die, a little extra, and that's any trait roll. So you really need that. I put that in the wrong slide. I'm going to move it. I'm going to attempt to move it. You sit in over here. Extra effort. And Mortis' second card for season rank. I'm not going to put that one in there because that one would not come into play with the scenario that I'm putting together. Here. So sometimes it's something where it's just you play this on a creature that does this, and it's like there's not going to be a creature that does that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is an excellent card. This is Seize the Day, which is a character acts as his action card as a joker. When you get an action,
I have Power Surge, so if I get a joker on combat, I get 10 power points back. Right? Like
you act as if so you get the all right, and then Sethin isn't here, but she's going to I'll put her 2 down as well, because otherwise I might forget to give them to her. Okay, she gets Deadly Blow. Play to double the damage total of a successful melee attack.
Oh man!
So when she gets here, she might be convinced to trade that card or play it. Also, once you've had your card played and you still have a card you haven't played, you can still trade that card with another player so that they can play it. In fact, in other games when I've been playing in person and I'm physically handing these out to players, once they've had all their plays for the session, they'll just take their cards and just throw them in the middle of the table and be like it's like a go fish, for everybody who wants to. All right, Sethin's second one, because Sethin being what is Sethin? She's a Leyline Walker. She doesn't get a second card.
Twitch, and
she is not. She's not seated. So I'm gonna. Okay, so she's done. She's got her card. All right. So now the next thing we have to figure out is I gotta get the. I have to go to the initiative tracker, and I think I have everyone loaded into that. I hope so. Fingers crossed that I got everyone loaded into this, because I put it in on my other computer and no, it did. Hang on. Oh boy, no, it didn't. Okay, just a moment.
Yeah, I see Lydos and Mortis in there, but
you see that in there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Okay, that's a relief because I put those in from my other computer at work, and sometimes when I get home, I have to log out and log back in again. To get that to work, because this site's a little it has its share of troubles, and but it does. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. I must not have finished. I think I was working on this, and then the doorbell rang, and I had to go let somebody into the building, and so we have. Oh, okay. So now we have Lydos Mortis, Gent, and I'm going to add. So you should be seeing that these things should be showing up on your screen in real time. And then we have Sithin. Let me see. Sithin, am I spelling her name right? Sethin. And she says it's like a soft C sound. Sethin. Okay, Sethin, however, is probably out of combat, so she doesn't get a card. She gets 3 bennies. Now, does anyone have the luck edge?
I did, but I ended up taking it off so I could get rapid recharge.
Oh, all right.
I really wanted lucky, but I was so afraid that I'd run out of power points for my armor. So
the armor is not as big of a deal because the armor you power it up. It's like 1 power point an hour, and you recover more power points than that.
Yeah.
So now, does anyone else have luck? Lydos might have luck.
I don't think so, no.
As an edge, no.
No?
Nope. No. My edges are Artificer, Channeling, Common Bond, and Elan.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. What are these more edges?
Yeah, as a Mars character, you can have a ton of edges. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Master of Magic, minor item creation, Nerves of Steel, new powers, PowerPoint, Sidekick, and Arcane Background Miracles. Nope, no luck.
Okay, so you get 3 bennies. And,
yeah, I noticed, Lidos, do you have 30 PowerPoints? Yours is different, right, though, because yours Psychic. It's ISP instead of... Am I right on that?
Lidos has PPE. He's a shaman.
Okay.
He's a little bit like a cleric. He's got the miracles background.
Okay, was it the druid then that I was looking at that had 30?
I have 30 ISP apparently.
Yeah.
Gent.
Yeah.
Gent is like, I mean, he's actually probably of all the characters right now, Gent is the one that the coalition, actually nobody that's in any kind of position of authority wants Gent to be a thing that's alive.
All right.
Because Gent is a mind melter, which is considered probably one of the most dangerous kinds of people that can exist. Because a good mind melter can do wonderful things. An evil mind melter can just cause havoc. They often form their own. They form like cults and things because they're really powerful psychics.
That sounds like my kind of character.
Yeah, he's like Professor X, and he's got the master. Everyone in this room is everyone's got either Master Psionic or Master of Magic. These are powerful spellcasters. This is This is like a casting group for sure. But then you got the combat mage who's absolutely maniacal in melee combat.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I still have Master of Magic too. So.
Yes, yeah. Well, a combat mage does. That's part of their thing. So they are considered the front line. They were the frontline troops in the war to defend Tolkien. Unfortunately, they were just outnumbered and outgunned. And next up, I have to go through this and keep going through this. So we have Mortis will have 3 bennies, I think, and then Gent has 3 bennies, and Sethin has 3 bennies, unless she fails her spirit check for her PTSD and wakes up with bad dreams that morning. And I have to add another character. Enemy leader. It's 2 bennies. The GM gets 3 bennies right now, but as soon as Yellowfish shows up, I get another one. Because the GM gets 1 benny for each player character. And every wildcard NPC gets, every wildcard NPC gets 2 bennies. And I'm also going to throw
I muted them.
I'm going to throw I guess it's Sienna. Sienna is in here. Now what's interesting about Sienna as a character is that Fortune and Glory table roll, it's a little different because that's starting a character off with a sidekick, which is a little weird because sidekick is a legendary edge. That's something you don't get to have a sidekick until you're all the way at legendary. But in Rifts you can start with it because the legendary edges are available at character creation. So you could start with a sidekick. But if you have a sidekick that's the same, oh my goodness. Oh, someone got home from work early. Oh my. Oh, okay. Okay, I am putting her back in the deal. She's getting on the card. Okay, Sienna is because it's a elf non-binary kind of character, is going to be listed as out of combat, but is going to act on Lidos' initiative. So whenever Lidos acts, Sienna will be able to act. And Sienna only gets 2 bennies because Sienna is but I think Sienna has luck and therefore has let me grab Sienna. I should probably grab everybody's write-ups, shouldn't I? Leaflander. Get Sienna Leaflander up in front of me. I got Sienna Leaflander up in front of me. Does Sienna have luck?
Does not look like it.
It doesn't look like Sienna has luck either. Now, Lydos has Common Bond, right?
Yes.
All right, Common Bond means you can get bennies you can only spend on yourself, but Common Bond means you can hand a Benny over to somebody else. But I think the rule is that the Benny has to get spent pretty much like at that moment. Like you hand it over and then they spend it. And that maybe doesn't sound like it's that helpful, but that can make a difference. That can save someone's life. Because you can throw a Benny at somebody and they can make a soak roll to soak damage that might otherwise kill them or knock them out of the fight. So Yellowfish is muted and she's on. Okay. Oh, getting excited. Now, let me get back to my hunch. What are the active effects?
Some of the text is cut off on my sheet, but it looks like it says here, hero may feel free to give her bennies to others, I'm guessing. Do I have Common Bond?
You might. Let me take a look. You might have rolled that. Let me see. You might have rolled that as a bonus thing. I have to go in and I gotta grab everyone's Woo! Well, she just popped back in. Let me find this here. Believe I've got everyone here. Thought. Lydo's Path Treader. I'm gonna show you all the character sheets in front of me, so because I'm sitting there thinking like I should probably maybe have those in front of me. What's my other hero's name here? This is all stuff I usually have done ahead of time. Like I usually have all these things loaded up ahead of time, but today been kind of crazy. And do I have this latest version of Scythin?
Hey, Chancellor, in the chat, which browser are you using? Because Twitch was being a little goofy for me on Firefox, but on Chrome it's operating smooth now.
Oh, she's having trouble. Oh, okay, we'll listen on the way. Oh, okay. Well, she's just listening. Okay, she just sent a message. I see that 5 minutes ago. I didn't realize. All right. Oh, here she is. Here's Sutton. I think this is I don't know if this is the most recent version or not, but I'll find out. And so you got Lydos, Mortis, Sutton, and I should have Gentry. That's the most recent version. Here we go. This is the one from today. I got all the character sheets in front of me. Okay, great. I'm just going to look and see. Oh, yeah, so Gentry has Common Bond. It can also give away bennies.
On brand.
All right. So, okay, so I think what we're going to do is we got Yellowfish is almost here, so maybe I'll... let's figure out, okay, tokens for Roll20 here. Do we have tokens that we want to use? I found one that I think might be good for, if you're wondering why this map looks like it was drawn by the GM on his iPad using Procreate, that's because it was drawn by the GM on his iPad using Procreate. In case you were wondering if all those little, you're not in the map. I'll get you on the map in a second. You're looking at the map actually that you're in is the one on Roll20. That's the map of North America, so you get an idea. You guys are located right now as your first adventure starts. You're about halfway between Chi-Town and New Chillicothe. On the map, you're right inside the Federation of Magic territory, heading south. For different reasons. And it's all very exciting.
Okay.
Well,
Thanks, Arcane
kind
World.
of.
Thank you.
All right. Here's the thing. When Lydos first met Sienna, the elf, Sienna had inherited a skyboat, which is really just a sailboat that's been covered in techno wizardry. It's got sails, and it's actually seaworthy. You could float on the water with it, but it's been outfitted with all kinds of pipes and runes and things, all connected by little and circuits and wiring, and so it's kind of a steampunk looking. I don't have a good picture of it, and if I could draw one, but I can't draw. But kind of a steampunk sailboat, and it is a techno wizardry vehicle, and it's capable of raising up off the ground and just sailing through the air. And so this is convenient, and it will hold a good number of people. About 20 or more people could comfortably sit on this thing, although Lydos is pretty big. He's a centaur. Or they are a centaur. What are Lydos' pronouns?
They, them.
They, them. Okay, so they. Lydos, I should make a note of that. I should write that down. And that's a fact, I've got my notes right here. Wipe off flashcards. Never thought I just thought they would be useful. They didn't turn out to be that useful. Now I find them useful again. So Lydos just kind of crouches down in this thing. I don't know that much about it. No, horses were brought over on ships to the New World some hundreds of years ago. I don't know how they made it through the trip. I imagine they were sitting down most of the time. But Lydos just kind of sits down, holds on, and Sienna just kind of pilots the ship. And this skyboat can go up pretty high, and if it's on a ley line, it can just cruise along without really having to even be piloted. It just cruises along. And it can go upwards of about 100 miles an hour, and it can go up at least about 1,000 feet in the air. So, Lydos and Sienna are in the skyboat, and they're cruising through the Federation of Magic. They are heading south because they have heard that there is this organization that called headquartered in a place called Castle Refuge that was founded by dwarves that had come from another dimension. This is the rumor. It might be true. And founded an organization called the Tomorrow Legion, which is a little bit like Doctors Without Borders, but with guns and magic. And they've been sending out missions to gather refugees from the massive Tolkien conflict that just happened just to the north and slightly to the west of where you are, up in the Minnesota-Michigan border there. And heading south to try to find this Castle Refuge. You got the location. But it's dangerous. This is really dangerous territory because where there isn't the coalition patrolling and shooting skyboats out of the sky, which they will do on site, there's also, of course, the Magic Zone, which is filled with demons and also filled with many of the demons and monsters that were summoned by the citizens of Tolkien, the magic users of Tolkien, in a last-ditch effort to try to fend off the coalition attack. And when Tolkien completely fell, those demons just scattered off into the wilderness, and many of them headed to the Magic Zone, and some of them headed up into Canada. But a lot of them just went down into the Magic Zone. They're headed for Alabama, Tennessee, Louisiana. They're headed down into that area. The Magic Zone is most of the Ohio River Valley. You'll see it on the map there. It's most of the Federation of Magic, especially, is the Magic Zone. And it kind of goes all the way down to, like, Baton Rouge, which is mostly underwater. And then Baton Rouge is underwater. There's really it goes down all the way down to, you'll see it on the map. So you're kind of threading the needle between New Chillicothe and Chi-Town, which is, Chi-Town is a massive city, like a citadel of the coalition. That's kind of where it's headquartered. And it's You don't want to go anywhere near that if you're not just a regular normal human being, like an unexceptional human being. Because if you're a psychic human being and they find you in Chi-Town or anywhere near Chi-Town or in Coalition territory, they'll kidnap you, barcode the back of your neck, and forcibly conscript you into the Psi Corps to be used to hunt down and kill magic users. And if you're a DB, which is a dimensional being, any kind of alien, any kind of cryptozoological thing, they'll just, most of the time, they'll just shoot you on sight. Especially if they don't feel like they can capture you and maybe use you for experiments or something.
Question about a lore question.
Mm-hmm.
The Sasquatch, were they always here?
Yeah, they were, but they kept really hidden.
So they just didn't come out till after the apocalypse.
Yeah. After the apocalypse came out,
right.
they started. Yeah, they kind of emerged. Yeah, they were. A lot of them lived up in the north. They were they're all they're like the Wendigo. There's different things. There's the Wendigo, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, all kind of interchangeable names. But they had their own kind of culture and society. But they kept hidden, and then they kind of emerged into this new world where there's so many other things going on. They can just kind of coexist. And however, but Gent is among Sasquatches is an exceptional Sasquatch. There's most Sasquatches. They all have psionics. They're all psionically powered, but Gent is like an exceptional specimen, and still, relatively speaking, in the bloom of his youth.
Right.
And so, Lydos and Sinea are in the boat, and Sienna are in this skyboat, this sort of steampunk sailboat, and it's reasonably big, and they're just sailing along a ley line, keeping an eye out for anything dangerous or suspicious. And meanwhile, Gent is in a refugee encampment about halfway between New Chillicothe and Chi-Town. See where I'm going with this. Is a refugee encampment. It's got about 150 refugees in this. There's in a glade, and you've been just kind of regularly watching the perimeter of this, this place. And I'm now going to switch you on roll 20 over to that spot. And you'll see you're now switched over. So you'll have to zoom out. It's a very big map. And again, as I said, if this looks like it was drawn by the GM on his iPad using Procreate, you're right. And if you are wondering if those little face icons, if you're wondering if those are actually a portrait that someone drew of the GM on that iPhone app called Draw Something, like 8 years ago, you'd be right. The answer is yes. So those people are all... Now we need a token for Sasquatch, for the Sasquatch, for the Bigfoot. Where can we get a token of Bigfoot?
I mean, I'm sure we can pull a screenshot from the Patterson film. That's got, or the what was it? You know, the classic Bigfoot.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's got to be public at this point, right?
I am sure that is exactly the case. All right, hang on. Let's see. All right. Okay.
Yeah, Patterson Gremlin film.
Yes. Okay. Let's see if something really stupid and pointless can come out of this. Because if so, I consider that a success. All right. I'm going to pull up Token Stamp, and I am going to load up Token Stamp. And let's see if we can do this. Let's see. What do we got? I'm going to go to Token Stamp, and I'm going to grab. Let's see. Oh, I did that wrong. Oh. Absolutely useless. All right, hang on. Bloody useless. Here we go. We'll try that. See if that works. Okay, let's see. No, apparently that's not how that works. Okay, You know what? They are forcing me to use force. All right, Rabbit. Okay, Rabbit. You forced me to use force. I'm going to try this one more time. Okay, that's okay. Okay, now they're messing with me. I don't know how it's happening. All right. You know, I'll play it their way. I'll do it their way. This is very grainy, but you know what? It's who cares? It's Rifts. Everything's grainy in Rifts. All right, so I'm going to pull up. Where was I? Token stamp. Token stamp. Notifications. Okay, here goes. How do I do this? And then we're gonna. I have something that might serve as a for Lidos. All right, I gotta get the border tint just right. It's gotta be just the same color as his fur. And then, okay. I should probably try to if I had time, I would draw a little lab coat on him with maybe some glasses, or what does he wear? It's like a jacket. He has armor on. He wears armor. But he wears a jacket over the armor. It's this extra large tailored jacket.
Yeah, it's basically he's wearing what looks more or less like a suit that would be befitting of the modern times. He finds it a bit more disarming for the human folk and some of the less worldly elves and dwarves. Normally, when an 11-foot tall ape-hominid man is coming at you, people get a little nervous. But for some reason, the suit, they chill out.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create I have to create a character. Okay, and then don't do it by doing that. I have to go into the characters, add character. And this is something I could have been doing today, but I didn't. So Gent is the character's name, and Gent is controlled and edited by. You are a Mad Machine Maker. That's you, right? Okay.
Oh yeah, that's me.
It's controlled by you. Okay. And what I'm going to do is go into the token editor, and let me see if it'll let me drag a token right in there. No. In fact, what it will do is open a new window with that token in it. But that's okay, because I'm going to open the token thing up. And I've been doing this enough where I've kind of got this down. There he is. There's his name. Okay, now, do you see yourself on there? You're kind of in the middle of the ley line. You should be able to move by moving him around. Just move. Oh, you can move him. Oh, my God, I actually did it right. I did something right. Got to put this on my calendar. And we got, Lidos. I have a token. I have a token in mind for Lidos that I created, and I have to pull it up. Okay, I'm going to hit P. And I'm going to go and grab my, no, it's Lidos. And I don't know if this is just the, this is just the token from, this is just the graphic of the centaur from, oh great. So why don't you show that you know how to use Roll20 way better than me?
I'm only from the player end. Don't ask me about any of the GM stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes me feel marginally better. All right, so Lidos is not actually there. Lidos is actually way up here. He's in the skyboat. He's way over on the edge of the map. He's coming along the ley line, on the south end of the ley line. And now, do we have a Mortis?
Yeah,
token? Anything?
One sec. I'm actually making a token right now, and I will get it to you.
Toss it in there. Oh, and I have a token for Sethin, but Sethin is no R. Sethin, but she's not in the scenario yet. And what's happening in the camp is that Gent is they've been because it's so dangerous here, and this ley line extends pretty far south. So the goal has been there's been ley line walkers have been making their way to the ley line, and Gent was a professor of psychic studies in Tolkien at the University of Learning and Wisdom.
Okay.
But he didn't. He would only go into the city for a few hours a week. He really doesn't like cities. The Sasquatches, they just don't. They just rub.
No.
They don't like all this stuff. Big stuff and people everywhere. That makes them really uncomfortable. So he didn't want to be in the city. He would go in and he would have meetings. But he would kind of hand out assignments, and he would study with the students, kind of in little groups of psionic students. And then he would go back to he had like I guess it would be like a shack or a hut in the woods, or even just like
we had a nice little
like a cabin,
kind of like above, sort of built into the trees.
He had a little place to live.
Keep it out of the way.
And he kept to himself. And of course, there was a sad day a couple months ago when he just kind of was like, when you could see the fighting, you could see the artillery and the railgun fire, and just this bombardment was getting closer and closer and closer. And in the middle of Tolkien, there's this all these ley lines would converge in the middle of Tolkien, and there was this big like clockwork, this gorgeous clockwork techno wizardry system designed to just harness the power from this like they call it super nexus, where there's 3 or more ley lines converging in one place, just spitting light of this magical energy in every direction, and that they were aiming for that. You could tell, and if they hit that, the power would most of the people, because magic was just flowing through the whole city of Tolkien. That's what they powered their city with. All the lights and everything was powered just magic. The whole city was like magic, and they were aiming for that. Like they were getting close enough where they could actually were lobbing artillery ordnance at that thing, and that was like, we really have to go. And
Gent definitely would have run to the city to help sort of with the evacuation effort.
Yeah, and but there was one moment that shook Gent up pretty badly, and that was a number of his psionic students, very, very promising young men and women. He found out they were kind of trying to keep it from him, but he got a sense they were going to join. There was a kind of almost like a gang called the Nomads that were out they were kind of near the front lines. It was psychics. And psychics, it's harder for like the dog boys to sense them. The dog boys can smell magic a mile away. But the psychics, they had to get a lot closer. And the Nomads were this group of psychics. Some of them were mind melters, powerful. Some of them were other kinds of psychics, and going out, and and they were like psi assassins. They were going out and they were kind of picking off these soldiers. They were getting into they were just like guerrilla fighting against that. And he really was, of course, being a pacifist, Gent was like kind of shook up. He's just like, maybe we should just, everybody should just leave, because chances are, most of these psychics that would have been doing this, if they'd been like captured, who knows what would have ended up happening to them. At best, they could expect to be forcibly conscripted to the side of the coalition. At worst, they would be, brutally executed, especially the really powerful ones. So that was kind of that was something that's driven Gent toward really just doing what he can to try to just get people out of this danger zone. And that's what he's been doing. And leyline walkers, you knew Sethin. Sethin was at the university. It was a promising and fairly powerful young leyline walker, well steeped in learned magic, kind of almost like a prodigy. And she got out, and you recently found out that she's still alive, and that she's been just kind of in the area of Tolkien, just kind of hiding out and trying to help people wherever she can, and just kind of moving people as far south as she can, and out to, away from the area of the violence, because the coalition is still in the area. They're in that area, just sweeping through, just trying to mop up, and it's just an effort to get everybody out. And so she has she has a particularly powerful set of abilities related to ley lines, the chief of which among them is probably Leyline Gate, which means that she can take up to her smarts die worth of passengers as she teleports to any position on a ley line. She can start anywhere on a ley line, and she can teleport, and then she can use nexus points as little jumping off junksters. So she can, if there's enough connections, she can teleport a group of people hundreds of miles away. Although it's dangerous because she doesn't necessarily know what's at the other end of it unless she goes there first to check it out. And, of course, even that can be dangerous. She might not make it back. So, because every time they do it, they have to make a vigor roll. And if they fail the vigor roll, they take a level of fatigue, which is then a negative one, -1 to any future trait rolls until they rest. And so, oh, hello!
I have a rabbit!
Kinda, yeah! Awesome. You're speaking of your Leyline Walker friend from college, from the university. She's been, you found out that she's alive, and she is going to going to come to your. She's been bringing people to this encampment, and when they get enough people in the encampment, they're gonna scope ahead, find another safe place, and start jumping people in groups of however many they can, and try to hook up with other leyline walkers in the meantime, and just build up an operation like a railroad that'll just go boom, 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 and just start shooting these people down to the south as fast as you can. It's a dangerous operation. It's likely to attract the attention of the coalition if they find out that it's happening. They will try to put a stop to it with just overwhelming force. And so every hour of every day is just keeping a lookout for any kind of coalition action, and just hoping that the time doesn't run out. Meanwhile, this kind of rather violent and revenge-driven, dangerously psychotic combat mage named Mortis was with a couple of other people from Tolkien, somewhere between between Chi-Town and Chillicothe, or whatever what did I say? Whatever that's called.
Chillicothe.
Chillicothe. He just was camped out overnight because it's really not necessarily safe to travel at night. Although it's not bad, but you gotta sleep sometime. And camped out overnight, and he just was about to just finished breaking camp, packing up his gear into his big survival kit that he could even just walking on foot until they can find a vehicle to steal. And I forgot to just breaking the narrative here. Yellowfish, did you see your slideshow thing? Did you pull up your slides?
Nope.
Okay, nope. The link is in there. You've got one adventure deck card, which you can trade to anybody else or play on behalf of somebody else. So Mortis is just broke camp. When
it's just in resources?
It's in Legion Barracks. It's the very top, or the second thing from the top.
Scrolling.
Google Drive folder.
Click. Found.
Yeah, right. And you can look at everybody else's status things because it will help you too. If you figure out there's something you might want to borrow from someone else. You can trade those at any time. You only get one play per session, but you can trade unplayed cards at any time. So, he's breaking camp, and just then, shots start ringing out, laser fire across the camp, and one of his companions just immediately just gets fried, just falls over. He's like, "Oh, cripes!" And he looks around, and through the thick trees, sees at least 4 Skelebots. Just like Terminators, just thump, thump, thump. And Skelebots look like, and I'm going to get you a picture of a Skelebot, and I should have had one. Oh, actually, no, I do have one handy. I'm going to grab a picture of a Skelebot to show you what they look like.
Now, are these something Mortis is familiar with from the Siege of Tolkien?
Oh, they launched thousands of these things. In fact, what happened was the initial assault was all Skelebots. They sent thousands of Skelebots to attack this one town. But the town had like an early warning system, and just happened to have a number of magic users living in it. And the magic users just went up and just started throwing all kinds of just magic and confusing light displays and stuff. And these Skelebots are just AI driven. They're like Terminators, but they're kind of dumb. And all they know how to do is just kind of look and go, enemy, shoot. Yeah, that's all they really know how to do. And they were so confused and so befuddled by this that it's actually still to this day, it's just the whole area is just littered with Skelebots. But in the ensuing combat, the Skelebots still managed to like raise the town. They destroyed the town. So the coalition called it a victory, even though they lost thousands of their Skelebots. And to this day, those Skelebots, called the Skelebot Graveyard, they're just still there. So the Skelebots are somewhat infamous. And let me see if I have here's a picture of a Skelebot, and I'm going to see if I can copy and paste this into the Discord chat, into the Legion chatter. That's what they look like. So you can see very much inspired by Terminator. And they carry very big guns, and they have like blades that come out, and they are, of course, they're relentless, and they're AI, so they're immune to things like fear and intimidation. That kind of thing. You can't really use like psionic powers. You can't like read their minds or anything like that. They don't really have minds. And so the Skelebots were just marching along, and Mortis was like, okay, let's see if I can deal with these things. There's 4 of them, and there's 5. And then behind them, his heart sank when he saw at least 1 dog boy, and he was like, "Oh no! I got to find the ley line. I just got to go. I got to get away from these things. Try to duck around the trees." So he just hoofing it,
we call it a tactical retreat.
Tactical retreat. And his other friend ran the other. His other companion just kind of ran the other way. He figured it'd be safer just to split up, and maybe they'll go after one. Maybe they'll go after split their forces. Maybe. And he's just hoofing it through the woods in Minnesota, Michigan border area, and he comes up to a clearing. And he's coming to the clearing. Up in the sky, he sees the blue and kind of the blue, silvery, and white shimmering light of a ley line just kind of flooding the area in the morning light. And he's, ley line, awesome. Oh my God, ley line. Okay, get to this ley line. If I get to this ley line, it'll make it a lot harder for the dog boys. It was like crossing a river, and the dogs are chasing you, across the river, and supposedly you kind of lose the scent. But maybe they'll lose the scent. Gets up to the clearing. What does he see on the other side of the ley line at the ground level? A refugee encampment. And he goes, oh no. With like over 100 people. And he sees it.
I just led a bunch of Skelebots to these refugees?
You had no idea. You couldn't have known. And they probably would have found them regardless. They were maybe just walking in that direction when they sniffed you out. And you're seeing Denor, Trimidors, other DBs, maybe a handful of elves and people like that. Just all kinds of DBs, all ripe for the picking. You don't see a whole lot of like guns or armor. You don't see any vehicles. You don't see anything. Nothing. And you're like, oh hell no. So let me grab your token that you did here. I'm going to pop that on my hard drive. Did I do that right? Yes, I did. Okay, we're going to toss that up on Roll20 here. I'll put you where you go. You are right at the mouth of this clearing. And I'm going to put you in here, and I'm going to make you correctly sized for 1 square. I'm going to go add character name Mortus, and this and okay, okay for this. Let's see.
Oh,
That should be good.
This map is huge, isn't it?
It's a big map. I have a bad habit of doing that. I tend to, especially with Rift, I'm like, with other games, other settings, I'll be like, I just need the one building. But with Rift, I'm always like, I need the entire 4 city blocks because who knows how much chaos might happen here.
So these
now we need
squiggly lines here. That's the ley line itself.
That's the ley line, yeah. And then if you look back, the white squares are those kind of represent the refugees.
Okay.
Meanwhile, up in the sky, coming right down the southern tip of the ley line, as you're looking out, make a note. Lidos, make a notice check in the Discord chat. That's going to be in the Legion Chatter channel. Going to type exclamation point, and you're going to type S, and then your notice die type. And do you have any abilities related to eyesight? I don't know if you do. Probably not. The elf possibly does. The elf might have something.
I have something for detecting arcana, but
yeah, detect arcana is detect arcana would probably not be great in this instance. In many other instances, detect arcana is very useful. What did I do with my resume?
I'm doing which check? What is it?
So notice.
Notice. Okay.
Notice.
All right. So.
Oh, Sienna's already.
Exclamation point S. What was the rest of it?
It'll be S, and then it's going to be the die type.
Yep.
And then that should do it.
Okay.
Okay. Basic success. Okay. First thing you notice is as you come over these trees in your skyboat, and I need to get an elf. Let me see if I have an elf here somewhere. Elf. I know I have an elf, just a generic elf. No, I can't do this, but I'm gonna be sorry. I'm gonna use my friend. I'm gonna use this picture of my friend Gary. He's gonna be in honor of my friend Gary, who passed away in 2019. He's actually the guy who this picture right here that just showed up on the screen. That's my friend. He's the one who got me into Savage Rifts. This is the guy we were running East Texas University, and he's like, I want to play Rifts. It just came out for Savage Worlds. And I'm like, Rifts? Is that the game with the glitter boy and everything's super unbalanced and everybody mocks it for being ridiculous? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So this is him. He's gonna his picture that I just found. It says he's in an elf hat. So I'm going to put him in as me, and then I'm going to, all right, and I'm going to get him on here, and that's Gary, and,
hey,
okay.
NV Scout Friend.
And we need an image. I have something for Sethin. I'm pretty sure I made one. Yes, I have a Sethin one. So, Sethin's. This is Sethin. Does that show up on yours?
Oh, cool. Gas mask.
Yeah. Well, that's standard, the ley line armor. All the ley line walkers wear that because they float up, they can go up to 1,000 feet. They need to have the environmental control. They have the environmental controls. But it doesn't block their verbal components of their spells, which is a feature of that armor. It's literally ley line armor, and you upgraded your armor. You had the light armor. You traded up to the ley line medium armor, which is a little tougher, and it has environmental controls and that sort of thing. So you come with the skyboat's sailing along, and I had a boat I thought I had a boat graphic that I was going to use, but it's just there. you'd probably have to land it pretty quickly to keep it from being spotted. But the first thing you notice as you're coming over this clearing over on the right side of the map is you see this refugee encampment on this that's along this ley line. So over 100 refugees. And you're like, oh dear, they're going to want to get on our boat. And of course, having the heroic hindrance, you're probably, I don't know if he has the hindrance. Maybe a heroic, what are his hindrances? Do you have heroic, Lidos?
Code of honor.
Code of honor, yeah. Oh yeah, okay. So he hasn't promised anyone that they could ride his boat. So he's not bound by that because he hasn't promised. He didn't say anybody gets to ride my boat, and it's not even my boat anyway. It's Sienna's boat because Sienna's the one who rolled it. So this is a beverage. I'm going to pour for myself. And this is the beverage that allows me to run games without worrying about how badly I suck at it.
Seem to be doing a good job so far.
So far, so good. I haven't even done any character voices yet. So
You have set the scene beautifully, though.
I am setting the scene as best I know how, or second best. And all right, now, so you see that. Well, with your basic little notice, with your basic little bit of a notice check, you just popping up over the top of the trees in the distance, and I think Sienna, does he have? He's an elf. Does he have? He has dark sight, low light vision. I don't think he has far sight. No, he gets so ignore illumination penalties for different. Okay, he has low light vision, but he doesn't have far sight. But you just sense a little bit of movement over to the right. You see just a little glint of something in the morning sun, because the morning sun's coming in at that angle above the treetops. You catch a little glint of something bobbing, kind of roundish, almost like it's like a stalk, like a metallic ball on the top of like a sort of trapezoidal conical stalk that's standing up and kind of bobbing around, like moving forward among the trees. And make a let me look at your skill list and see if you have the skill I'm looking for. I'll tell you, there really is something to be said for having all the character sheets in front of me, because for some reason I don't do that. And I'm like, having to think of it. Let's see. Do you have common knowledge? You have common knowledge. Make a common knowledge roll. That's a D6 on your sheet. So you're going to roll exclamation point S6. Let's see if you know what you're looking at.
I'll spin the right window.
Yeah, you do it in the Legion Shadow. Oh my God! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, your heart goes up into your throat. Your heart sinks after it goes up into your throat. It sinks, which is like we use both of those metaphors to kind of mean the same thing, don't we? You realize that is a coalition robot, giant robot, and they stand like about 20 feet tall. They're extremely heavily armored. And you see that thing, and you see it, and I'm going to go into the tokens. I'm going to move that to the token layer, and you see it right there. You see that. And I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong layer. Here, you see it looks like that. Do you see it on your screen? And what you spotted was that you spotted the sensor array sticking up over its head, and then it moved into a little bit of a clearing, and you saw the skull head, and you went, oh, crap. And there's no way that thing's by itself. Wherever there's one of those things, they are surrounded by a small army of smaller robots, and usually dog boys to sniff out magic users, and dead boys, which are just grunts. But you also know that there's a good chance that there's, a commander nearby. The commander is probably sticking close to the robot. But if that robot keeps walking and keeps going, it is going to get to that encampment, and they don't look like they're just kind of breaking camp as quickly as they can, but they don't appear to be alarmed. They don't appear to know that this is on its way, and it's only and also in terms of the scale, these squares are 6 feet. Each square is 6 feet, 2 yards, and so therefore 880 squares is a mile, and then 110 squares would be like an eighth of a mile. So you get an idea, so 88 squares, 88 of these squares would be a quarter mile. So they're dangerously close. The one saving grace is that the closer they get to the ley line, there's 8 dog boys in there. The closer they get to the ley line, the less likely they are to be able to sniff out any magic users. But that might not matter if they spot them with their eyes. So you see that, Sethin. You've been running up and down this ley line. You've been teleporting people to this encampment with your colleague, with this guy you knew from the university, who was this, like, what is he, 8 feet tall? I think he's 8 feet.
What did it say for size? I think they said, like...
He's 8 foot tall and really heavy. He's heavy, I think, and I think he's 8 feet tall.
If you're talking about my guy, says 9 to 12 feet tall.
Good Lord, yeah. So you couldn't, you knew when this guy was on campus, because he'd be walking around, ducking under doorways and having to, he'd been looking around for the extra big chair to sit in, and he always seemed kind of uncomfortable in the city. And now, did Gent at any point have Sethin come back to his little place in the woods, or did he keep everybody away from that?
People he knew, I think he would have, if they were interested, invited back. But he's not going out of his way to make social.
Yeah, he's not inviting people. He's not having he's not having tree hut warming parties.
Yeah.
All right, but she hooked back up with him after all the unpleasantness that she experienced, and by way of, you need to make your spirit check. Did you wake up with nightmares this morning? I'm gonna let's find out. Go into the Legion chatter and type !S and whatever your spirit die type is, and I can go look for it.
D6.
So !S6. Now let's see if you succeed at this. You can Benny this if you don't crit fail it, but don't succeed. You just need to hit a 4. You have a success. You do this encampment that your colleague Gent has been operating about halfway between that town whose name I can never friggin' pronounce and Chi-Town. It's a very dangerous area to be in. It's right in the middle of like this coalition territory, but it's kind of a no man's land. There's not a lot going on there. It's just kind of thick wilderness. So you've been teleporting them in there and gathering them up, and then the goal is to all at once, before the coalition finds out about this, to try to recruit a few more ley line walkers that have that ley line gate ability, and just be like the rebel fleet leading Hoth, just everybody just get out at once, and that can be a little dangerous because you got. Because sometimes you bring another ley line walker with you, and then they bring you back. Because you have to make vigor rolls every time you do that. There's a chance that you're gonna like tucker yourself out, and you got to reconnaissance on how far down you can safely go. You can sometimes arrive at the other end of a ley line, and there's who knows what you could be at the middle of the nexus that's got a rift open that goes to like some hellish dimension, and you're like whoops, and that's like the fly, bounce too close to a star, or fly right through the, bounce fly right through a star, bounce too close to a supernova. And what's the next line? Who's got it?
That'll be the end of your trip really fast or something similar to that.
Oh, okay. Who's got the exact line? I got a Benny for whoever gives me the exact line. We can without precise calculations. Without precise. Okay, flying through hyperspace ain't like dust and crops, boy. Without precise calculations. Who's got the rest of it? You would fly right through a star, or bounce too close to a supernova, and.
I don't know what this is from. I'm sorry.
Oh no, this is from
Han Solo and Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's the first trip that Luke takes in the Millennium Falcon.
Hold on. We could bounce. That end your trip real quick, wouldn't it?
Who said that?
That's Han Solo.
No. Who? I can't. No one's mouth is moving.
Because if you're looking at the Twitch, it's delayed. The video's delayed.
So that was Bunker. Lidos said that. Okay, Lidos gets a Benny, even though you probably Googled that, and I'm going to be mad. No, it's okay. I know you didn't. Even if
really
you did.
Close. I just couldn't remember the exact wording.
Exact wording, yes. I do that from time to time. I want song lyrics. I will, I want good jokes too. I'll get, and also I'm saying, if you do a finishing move on a bad guy, you give me a good one-liner, you'll get a Benny. Because a good funny, either badass or funny, and people get stumped when they put them on the spot.
All right, I'm now channeling Arnold Schwarzenegger from Commando.
Remember when I said I'd kill you last? Yeah,
I lied.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Sully, you deserved it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that guy. Oh, my God. 80s action movies. That's That's my milieu. All right, so Sethin is just popping in to she just happens to pop in at this very moment. How many refugees did you bring with you? You could bring up to 10, I think, right? You got now you're a smart person.
8.
Yeah, you're gating in 10 people. Up to 10 people. Poop! Alright, you pop in. So this is just like warp drive. You're coming out of warp. Comes out of warp right on top of the encampment. And, so this just shimmering right underneath the ley line at ground level, just as things are getting weird, the shimmering happens and just almost like Enterprise beaming, like 11 people just suddenly appear there out of nowhere. And
have I noticed any of the other stuff going on out on the outskirts of the encampment?
If you're actively looking, make a notice check. See if you spot the skyboat that's just like sailing along the ley line at the top of the trees. That's a tough one, though. There's penalties because there's tree cover in the way. It is a big boat.
Sure.
It's size large, so it's big. So make a notice check. You'll be at -2 for tree cover and another -2 for range. So you're -4, but we'll see how you do. So if you go exclamation point S, what's your notice?
6. I rolled it. It's there. In Legion Chatter. I got a 3.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, you didn't see. You were distracted by the shimmering. Now, did I get that character on the sheet or not? Wait, did I put? Oh, I didn't put something on here. Hang on.
So what are Sethin's pronouns?
She, her.
All right. Yeah, when Jen sees another flash coming in, he'll run over. Sethin, another 10? We've got to get them moving out of here. The numbers are too big. I don't know how much longer we can go without being noticed.
Needs to make a vigor check because she just gated a bunch of people in, and it's at -2. Do I put him? Do I put a -2 after the S4?
Yeah, it's going to be exclamation point S4 -2. So make it a good one.
Hopefully.
Roll lucky. Roll lucky.
Please explode.
Oh, you exploded on the wild die. You rolled that, rolled a 6, and you rolled another 3. So you got it. You made it. You did. You were. Yeah, she's a little winded, but she catches her breath right away. This time.
She come out sort of like do that little like weird stumble thing, like she was walking too fast and she reached the edge of the stairs, like, oh, yep, nope, meant to do that. And turn and see the professor, and she's just gonna go, I don't think I got any lay walkers this time, I'm sorry.
It's
working
quite
on
all
it.
right. You know, whoever we can get here, it's just any gestures broadly to the large group of probably hungry people milling about. I don't know how many more we can care for here.
Have we got scouts out looking for other places?
Up back where you left, yeah. Back up further up north on the ley line. Yeah, as far north as you dare go on that ley line, where it eventually terminates, maybe 40 miles up.
And we're trying to take people north or south?
South. You're trying to, you know where, Branson, Missouri, roughly Branson, Missouri area. That's where you're trying to get into Branson, Missouri, about 30 miles south of Branson. Because in real life, somebody tried to build an authentic medieval castle about 30 miles south of Branson. That's kind of tourist attraction. But they ran out of money. And all they built was it's actually on Google Earth. If you look at it, it's actually there.
I saw a picture of it on an actual play for Savage Rifts on YouTube. It was pretty cool. They talked about the same thing.
Okay, yeah. So they only got about as far as building like a foundation. You can see where they started building the little castle wall and stuff. And so the lore in this version, which is not actually canonical with the original Palladium Rifts, this was added by Sean Patrick Fannin, to tie Savage Rifts in with his own Shaintar high fantasy setting that he made for Savage Worlds previously. I figured that out just looking around. And hang on, let me make sure that before I go any further, before I forget, Sethin, can you? All right, do you see your token right there? I just binged it on Roll20, and make sure you can move it. I want to see if you can move it. Just kind of left and right with the arrow keys, maybe. If you could select it and move it around. I just want to make sure everyone has control of their tokens so that no one gets mad at me.
You can move.
Let me see. You're moving it? You able to pick it up and move it around? All right. So they built this. So the lore goes in the Savage Rifts lore is that these dwarves came over from this other realm and came across this ancient, which of course after 300 years probably wouldn't have been anything, but I think the idea is that some areas, because they have a kind of weird mythical significance, are able to survive, which is just a convenient hand wave for that building is still standing after 300 years, even though clearly it wouldn't be. So they finished the castle. They actually put the castle up into the air, and they fitted it with electronics, and there's a nexus nearby, so they use that for transport. So the idea is to move these refugees down. They can travel a short distance, find the ley line that connects to Castle Refuge, and then start teleporting them over to Castle Refuge, and then they'll be resettled and kept safe. And the more powerful, the ones that are able-bodied, can train to become soldiers, troops for the Legion, and then the ones that are like you guys that are would be like specialists. They call them that are like magic users, psionics, people with special abilities. They get sent out as they're called special exploration teams or sets. So eventually, if this were to become a campaign, you'd have to pick a name for yourselves. You'd become you'd have a code name designation. So you'd pick a name, call yourself the Wild Bunch or something, or
I want to go with the Wild Things, and we're going to set up a base of operations, which is where the Wild Things are.
That's right. I like that. I actually like that.
Let the wild rumpus begin.
It would be absolutely excellent. It would be amazing. You could set up in any kind of weird place. So, all right. So now we get to the point where everyone's on the map, and I guess it kind of falls to the two characters who know that there's danger coming to do something.
Okay, so I know we're finally getting to the action, but will you guys mind if we take a quick 5-minute break? I'm a smoker, and I get really anxious when I sit for an hour and a half without smoking.
That's fine. I'm gonna put on some music and dance. It's in my head.
All right. Well, do
beer?
you guys want me to leave the cameras up for the stream, or I have a be right back scene? It's up to you, but I'll be 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
I can explain some more. I can explain some more lore while you're gone. I think you know some of it, so I can just throw some more lore out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Some of the other lore is that of course the coastlines have largely eroded and been a lot of it's been washed away.
See if my wireless headset goes out that far.
Oh, maybe it will. And the Manhattan, the city, the island. One of the things that happened in the Cataclysm was that the more populous an area was, the more people that were unalived, as we say on TikTok. The more people that were unalived by the apocalypse, that were just washed away by these disasters, these earthquakes, and these things, and just these horrible things that happened, the stronger the magical energy is in the place that, like, their energy just kind of, and this kind of almost sounds a little like Scientology, but it's like kind of Thetans or something, But like their essence, because every individual person, even if they're not a spellcaster, there's a certain amount of PPE in them, like 4 or 5, that's just inherent to any like living sentient being, and that just gets blown. It just blew up into like the cosmic essence of the Earth itself, and brought these ley lines out into sharp focus. They were already there, but they just kind of turned them into like supercharged them and caused them to become these permanent standing conduits of energy. The energy just flows through the Earth this way.
Are you familiar with the game Ingress?
Is that that MMORPG type one on the phone that used the Google?
It's the grandfather of Pokemon Go.
Yeah, because it used the Google land. Yeah, the place where I work had one of the sculptures out front of the place where I work was what were they called? The PowerPoint areas you tried to control, the pylons or whatever.
I can't even remember. It's been so long
since
we played it.
It is a little bit like that. These ley lines are these conduits of power. Well, some places like Manhattan had so many people that were clobbered by this thing that it's now called Mad Haven, and it's like the most haunted place, one of the most haunted places in the world. Like you really don't. Psychics especially don't like to go there because the ghosts are just constant. And there's almost like crack. Yeah, you walk it through, and it's just especially if you're a psychic, so it really only affect, in this case, it only affect gent, but it would be like you hear the ghosts are just like all the time, like everywhere you go, you hear the screaming and crying.
Yeah.
So that's one bit of interesting lore. So maybe your characters would go there one day. Alabama, don't go to Alabama. That's the dark wood. Full of necromancers and undead, absolutely terrifying. But then right in the middle of it is one of the major magical cities, which is Stormspire.
So nothing changed there then?
Pretty much, yeah, terrifying. There's the city of Charlotte became called Char, in what's known as Dinosaur Swamp. There's dinosaurs in this game. Yeah, dinosaurs. Dinosaurs came back. They came up through, like, dinosaurs just kind of wandered through these temporal anomalies that exist all through, like, Florida is just filled with dinosaurs because they come through these temporal anomalies from like, 65 to 200 million years ago. They just wander through and just kind of take up a new life, walking around, finding adventurers and eating them.
So not much has changed.
Not much has changed there.
Sorry.
And Disney World, the Magic Castle is still standing. There's like a nexus right on top of Magic Castle in Disney World, the Cinderella's castle. So that's like a place of great power, and so people sometimes venture there looking for pre-Rifts artifacts. All right.
Yep, I'm back. I could hear part of it, but I had to stand right next to my window outside in order to hear it. My neighbor was looking at me funny, so that...
Well, at least you were doing something to make your neighbors look at you funny. My neighbors look at me funny just walking outside, you know. Just like, what, you never seen a guy without pants on before? Come on. All right. I'm not that ridiculous. Where am I? Okay. So we lost our 3D printer guy.
Oh, I'm still here.
Oh, you're still here. Okay, you shut the camera off. Okay, I thought you were gone. I thought maybe you had
I had to step away from my workstation for a moment, but I still got you on my phone. I'm here.
Oh,
I'm
great.
playing.
Yeah, right on. Okay, so looking at the map here, so we got two people up in a skyboat who see a giant robot coming, and a guy on the ground just coming into the clearing who is extremely aware of this threat, who maybe hasn't seen the robot yet.
Yeah, I saw the Skelelots, right, but I didn't see the big...
Yeah, and the dog boy...
Okay.
Yeah, and you saw a couple of dog boys. You're like, this is very bad. That's why you wanted. That's where you headed for the ley line. You got finally get to the ley line. You're like, oh no, refugees.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, and I guess I can look it up at the same time. But my range for my power, sound, silence.
It's right. It should be right on the character sheet.
Yeah,
let me see.
I'm looking at right now.
It's probably either
smarts times 5.
For sound, yeah.
For sound. And my smarts
silence, it got cut off.
My smarts
Okay.
is 12. So
I'm gonna pull up.
Is that 12 inches?
12
right?
inches, yeah. 12 of these squares.
Times 5 is 60 for sound, right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
oh, wow. So I hadn't even thought of that. That's pretty clever.
I'm going to cast sound and make it like some noticeable tolling, like air raid siren or, a warning shout.
That's a great idea. I would, honest to God, I would never have thought of that. If I was playing that character, I would be like, I was going to run and wave my arms. I would be like, okay, let's make a performance check, and and it'd be like that scene from the third Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy book. Hey, table warble farble. It's like, what did he say?
Well, if it were humans coming after me, what I'd do is I'd make the sound of the screams from the Siege of Tolkien at them. Oh. But since it's a bunch of killbots, I don't think they care.
Yes, that's right. So, all right, so you're gonna roll. Where are you gonna place that? I think the
I want to place it the max range away from me towards the refugees. So 60 inches is.
That's all the way at the other side of the clearing and then some. Yeah, that'd be you could place it dead center of that if you wanted, but you maybe want to place it where they would look in that direction to see. Yeah,
that's right. So
direction.
this side of them, right?
Like there, like where they. And you happen to notice. I mean, you're close enough where you plainly see under the in the ley line area. You see a ley line walker, you know what a ley line walker looks like, suddenly appear with another 10 refugees with them, like another 10 people with this ley line walker. You're like, oh, great. Well, ley line walker might be able to fight, so maybe the ley line walker needs to hear this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm going to do it like right up here.
Yeah.
Right of the ley line of them.
That's child's play. Make a spellcasting roll. No penalty. That's your only action. So make a spellcasting roll. No penalties.
Okay.
And are you going to add?
Super high.
It's very good. I think I believe it's a D12.
Yeah.
Yeah. So roll exclamation point S12 plus 1. Are you adding any modifiers to this? I don't know if there are any.
No, not for this roll. I don't want to waste PP on just a warning shot, right? So
yeah. For one thing, I'm pulling up the Mega Powers list that I have. Let's see. I'm going to pull up the Mega Powers list and just have a look at the just see the exact way it works, just so I know. Not a lot of people use this. Any known sound or voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You could use that in combat.
Yeah.
To to distract somebody. Oh my God.
I almost thought about taking illusion instead, because illusion's always my favorite in Dungeons and Dragons. But
yeah.
I like this because then I could cast silence in the area I'm in and sneak right up behind someone and they wouldn't even know it was coming. So.
All right, so you're going bam, bam, bam. Okay.
Yeah, some kind of,
so,
like I said, I want it to sound like the Tolkien, so they know it's friendly forces saying, watch the fuck out, right?
All right, go ahead and roll that. So exclamation point, oh, you got it. Oh, well, not a great roll, but it's a basic success. It's enough. You don't even, there actually is not even a, there's really not even a raise effect on this, so it doesn't even matter. Because you're, so Stefan especially, you're the closest to this. You hear just coming from about, what was it, like 8 inches away? So 8 times 6, like 50 feet away, you hear this just right underneath the middle of the ley line. Kind of like the sound from like, wait a minute, that's the sound that we heard when we were like, when there was like air raids going on in Tolkien during the drills and stuff. Coming from right underneath there, familiar sound. Roll a spirit check. You got to roll a fear check.
You're minus one.
Is it -1 or -2?
Oh no! Did I do that at the PTSD?
Well, she's a Denor, so she has to make a fear check that she's not, because the Denor are very sensitive. Let me look up her thing. She's got this. It should be. I think it's under a. I don't know if it's in there. If it's in there. If it's in her list, or if I have to look it up.
And here I was all proud, and now I'm going to scare the crap out of my leyline walker ally.
2 penalty. So for a 2 penalty when making checks.
All right. Okay, so what's your spirit?
My spirit is...
Oh, I'm looking right at it.
Okay, 6.
6, okay, so you're right out. So it's going to be S6 -2. But don't forget you can Benny that. So it's S6 -2 for fear check to not be startled by this. But actually, the worst that'll happen is.
Oh wow!
Oh, you have the opposite. You have the opposite. Your adrenaline just surges, and you're just like, whoa! You're just Doctor Strange with the little runic circles going up. You're just like, okay, bring it on? What's going on?
I feel like Stefan was actually like, okay, guys, this is Gent. He's in charge. That's the healing tent over there. Go to this guy. That's the quartermaster. What the fuck? Just immediately puts herself between them and goes towards the sound. Just like.
As I'm casting that, I'm running towards them as well.
Okay. So you have 6 inches of running, or 6 inches movement without actually, running, like just at a fast walk. So move yourself 6 squares closer to the refugees.
Okay.
Are you able to do that?
Yeah.
So I kind of go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
3, 4, 5, 6. Close enough.
There you go. Yeah, you're there. Okay. Second, make a notice check to see if he's running toward you. Really just very basic notice check. This should be pretty easy. Your notice I see is a 6, yeah. So we're gonna use this roll. Yeah. So 1, it's just right. Exclamation point S6, a notice. Delete the D. There you go. Yeah, you see a guy wearing combat mage armor running toward you. Probably don't know. You probably wouldn't know him personally.
But the combat mage armor would be pretty memorable, right? I mean, we were the front line for Tolkien.
Might be distinctive. All right, make a common knowledge roll at -2, and you will have seen this combat mage before. You will have seen him before. Give me a success on a combat knowledge roll.
No, I did not succeed.
2. Yeah, you don't recognize this combat mage, but he's a combat mage. So chances are now his armor I think is a little bit spooky looking.
Yeah, mine's custom.
Yeah. He's wearing armor, but it's definitely a custom job. It's not like any armor you've seen. So, but he is running toward you. And,
Doc!
What's the commotion?
Doc! I'm just pointing. I got over my badassness. I'm scared now. I don't want to deal with this again.
All right, everyone into the woods. Jen's gonna start ushering the refugees sort of southeast, into a bit of the like out of the obvious clearing.
Okay, well, it's
looks like woods there.
It's a good thing you're like 10 feet tall, and you could just stand over top of most of them and just be like, that way, and they're all just like,
all right, folks, sort of stay together, please. Be responsible for each other. We need to find shelter, defensible positions if we can.
Yeah,
stay hidden.
Andre the Giant from Princess Bride, right? Everybody move!
All right, they all make it.
We're trying to keep everyone as calm as possible. Calmly, quickly into the woods, please.
Run away!
Sutton's gonna backline because she knows she's got barrier.
And I will kind of. Are you going to be kind of staying there, Sethan, or are you going to be going with the?
She's gonna stay north of any refugees. But if you're staying north of any refugees, she might go south of you.
I would say, yeah. If like, perhaps one of us escort them back, and the other see what this individual is warning.
All right, and while you're doing that, meanwhile, up in the sky, in the skyboat, what is Lidos going to do? He's all this crazy stuff is now happening on the ground right in front of you. You see, there's a klaxon sound happening for some reason quite a few yards away, half a football field away, maybe a quarter football field away, and these guys are getting that much closer. This guy is just like boom, 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 boom. He has a high pace, and he's trudging, bashing his way through the woods. What you doing in the meantime?
I then take us into the refugees. See if we can get some of them out.
How close does someone have to be for me to do a mind read?
That's going to be, let's see, where you're talking about Professor Gentry Acorn. Let's look at mind reading and take a look and see. Now, here's another thing. Oh, my God, I completely, bad GM, forgot to bring something up. You're on a ley line. Ley lines have effects on arcane powers. And I put a little doohickey. I'm going to move this up a little bit. I'm going to move this up into the middle of the map. Arcane effects, ley lines, and I'm going to move this up into the map where you can see it. Okay, here it comes. When activated on a ley line, double the range and duration of psychic or magic powers. Attack powers such as blast, bolt, burst, and damage field deal +2 damage. And defensive powers such as barrier, entangle, and protection gain +1 toughness. Magic users double the PPE you gain while resting on a ley line.
Oh,
so,
my
yeah,
goodness. Is that so? My blast is double the range and adds damage to it.
Adds damage. However, caveat: critical failure on an arcane casting roll, psionics or magic or miracles, while in the presence of a ley line, cause what's called dynamic backlash. Which normally you would just have a standard sort of backlash where you take like a fatigue level or whatever. But if you crit fail on an arcane roll, you roll on the dynamic backlash table. And all kinds of crazy things are possible when that table comes into play. So be careful when you're making those rolls. Don't crit fail, whatever you do.
Well, it says the range for the mind read is smarts, and I have a D10 for smarts.
Mm-hmm. Then you have a 10. However, it's doubled for being on a ley line.
Okay.
And you can spend extra power points, as you see in the power modifiers. You have to zoom in a little bit probably. But you can, for extra power points, increase the range. 1 power point will double the power's range, and 2 extra power points when you cast it will triple the range.
All right, yeah, so, I mean, what do I got to spend to be able to just hit? I'm just trying to read his intentions. Is he a threat to the group, or is he trying to protect the group?
That's a mind reading. Yeah, you probably just, all you would do in that case is you would make a roll. Now you have, let me just take a look at the mega powers. You have mind reading. We call it the mind reading. Success gets you a truthful answer from the subject.
So
you get one truthful answer.
I'm 17 squares away. So with the ley line being right there, is it close enough to the ley line that it would reach?
Oh yeah.
You
are well. Yeah, if you're anywhere within like 100 inches of an actual ley line, you are considered to be in the ley line's sphere of influence.
Okay, so I'm just trying to get a read off of that. Do I need to roll for that to see if
you make a psionics roll, and you will spend 2 power points. You probably don't need to mind walk. That's not.
No.
And if you get a raise, he doesn't know that you've done it. But he'll sense the intrusion if you don't get the raise. And it's an opposed roll versus his smarts, and Mortis is a very smart individual, so he has a very good chance that he will actually shout that out. On the other hand, you could attempt to do and don't forget you have Mind Link, and I think Mind Link is one of your inherent sort of abilities. Maybe Mind Link is one where you could just do like telepathy, where you could just go into his head and just ask him.
If I can do that, then I'll just.
That's only 1 power point. Yeah, that's
great.
Just
great. So I'm just straight to him. State your intentions.
All right, so that just requires a basic psionics roll. So roll your arcane background psionics, Professor Gentry. You have a psionics of D10, which is quite good. So just roll exclamation point S10. You're at no penalty. You're not taking any multi-actions at the time.
Success.
A basic success. You achieve a basic success in Mind Link, which means that you just pop in there with a just a thing like
you just hear in your head, and if you're looking, you see this. Maybe you're familiar with the Sasquatch.
Well, that's something
people.
I wanted to ask. Am I familiar with Sasquatch?
Make a common knowledge roll. Maybe a common knowledge roll at -2 to see if you were in Tolkien, if you had any reason to be anywhere near the. You might have been in the university. Maybe you saw this because he was probably the only Sasquatch in Tolkien.
He likes to, when meeting people for the first time, be kind of in an open area. So from a distance, he just looks like sort of a hairy guy in a suit.
You don't know the hairy guy. Don't know the hairy guy in a suit, but you do see him kind of looking at you. Okay. He's looking at you very intently, and you hear a voice. What did you say to him in his thoughts?
Just state your intentions.
And you can broadcast back to him.
Okay, so
through your own thoughts, if you choose.
Is it only like words, or can I send images through the thought?
That's a good question.
Because if it's images, I'm thinking of the Skelebats that I just saw, right? But if it's words, and I think I'd be familiar with having someone connect to my mind, right? Having been in Tolkien as part of the
Battle Mage, you probably do this stuff all the time.
Yeah.
My mind to your mind. My thoughts to your thoughts.
It is it's definitely. Doesn't say in there. Presumably you could just flash. You could just flash an impression, I would think.
I think that's what you get then, is for a second you get a moment from my past where it's the front lines of Tolkien all over again, Skelebats everywhere, blasts going off in every direction, and then I focus back in, and I kind of look behind me, and then you see the Skelebats chasing after me right this moment.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh boy, that's not something that you wanted to hear.
I'll communicate this to Sefton. This seems to be one of the defenders of Tolkien, but there's many bots on the way.
Zoinks! All right.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do, Doc?
Well, greet him. See if perhaps he can transport people as well. I don't know, but for the moment, I'm going to try to get as many of these hidden as I can. See what use he can be. We need to get these people out of here. And I will turn and kind of then keep sort of ushering people. Please, stay together. Keep track of each other. We may have an evacuation quickly.
One more round of people moving out of the way, and then I'm going to start throwing cards on this table here.
And I'm going to...
Okay. I'm assuming that if we set up this camp, we set up an evacuation plan as well. I would have been on that so fast. Get to your group leaders.
The master station. Hey, wait a minute, I'm missing somebody.
I kind of wish Mortis knew your guys' characters because I'm running towards a pacifist and a coward, right?
I think this is very much not Gent's sort of whole bailiwick here. So if Sethan had been communicating some sort of evacuation plan, he would have just been kind of going with whatever she had in mind. He knows about hiding in woods and psionic stuff. That's about all he knows.
Did I accidentally delete Lydos off the map? I don't see him on here. What happened to Lydos? He was on here. Where is
Lydos? Is that
I got him. Here he is. I got him. Let me just really quick. Okay. There he is. And let me make sure that he's connected to his character. Yeah, he's okay. Sorry, I just had to do some technical stuff. Cutting back to we got Lydos. Lydos is doing what now? Lydos is, I heard all this, but I'm kind of ignoring Lydos, and I feel bad. This is my bad. This is my bad.
Lydos is trying to bring the ship in.
Okay.
To see if they need evacuation on the ship.
Okay.
So I don't think we could load everyone in before those things get here.
Probably not. The ship is buzzing along pretty. Actually, at this point, you're probably here. I gotta move you. Your ship is pretty close. So yeah, suddenly breaking over the tree line. Are you gonna come right into the clearing?
Yep.
Okay, right into the clearing. So this doesn't even take a notice check. Probably, I would imagine, since Gent is facing the south, and pretty easily once it breaks through that other tree line of sight. Mortis sees this over to the left, sees a skyboat coming. Well, that's clearly not. That's not a coalition situation there. Skyboat's definitely not coalition. You recognize a skyboat with its glittering, glowing pipelines of magical energy, and then Sethan sees it over. She's looking to her right because she's looking in the direction of Mortis, and then she's out of the corner of her eye. She looks over. Here comes this big skyboat coming over the thing, and you're like, that's interesting.
Would there be time for the boat to get to the refugees at all, or would it be not
that
feasible?
Boat's it's pretty fast. The boat can move pretty quickly, and it's actually pretty maneuverable. It's not a ponderous thing. It's actually a pretty swift, maneuverable vessel.
Sethan wants to step up into the air and literally
absolutely.
Waving her arms and start pointing down to the safest place for that boat to land. Because she knows where these people are running to.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Gesturing toward the, so you're driving along, you're flying along in the skyboat, and, Lydos, you see, now you probably, I think Sienna's got the better piloting skill. a look at
Probably it's her ship.
Yeah, Second's got a piloting of D8 because that was part of the Fortune and Glory package that they rolled to get that ship. So they're piloting it, and you're coming along, and so you're gonna have motion. You're gonna tell Sienna to land. You said,
yeah, just sort of pointing there. There will be no people for you to squish there.
So you see a ley line walker floating in the air, gesturing for you to kind of doing like a, like some before with the flags going. I don't actually know this language, but I'm gonna pretend. Yeah.
I'll actually say as Gent starts to move away with the refugees, he opens up telepathic switchboard between Ethan, myself, and our new, hopefully, confidant coming to join us.
Okay,
So,
telepathic switchboard. That is a +5 to the and that lasts 30 minutes. So it's a total of 6 PPE. You will all right. So you declare that as a you will then. Up to Smarts, Die, and Minds. Yes. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, make a psionics roll.
Okay.
In the chat, and let's see what you get. Got a basic success. With a basic success, you get a 1 mile radius. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So myself,
so you connecting
and Mortis. Are all we can talk in our heads now.
Okay, boom. Okay, so Mortis, you feel the same psyche coming from the this Sasquatch. You feel this open connection, and everyone can just kind of think to each other as desired. So that's a handy ability. And so Lytus you're gonna have Sienna land the skyboat. Where roughly would you like to land the skyboat?
Wherever that ley line walker is motioning toward.
Right. Okay, so you just boom, boom, and you're now on the ground. The side it just comes gently down and lands on the ground. And yeah, Stefan, you see an elf that's wearing a tricorn hat and a suit of kind of enchanted armor. I think it's a suit of enchanted armor. Wait, does Sienna trade up their armor to, what is it? Oh, it's actually wearing a suit of armor almost exactly like yours. So Leyline medium walker armor. Or Leyline walker medium armor, and with a tricorn hat kind of strapped to the top of it. And it's an elf. A tall, thin individual. And then behind the elf, you see a centaur. There's something you don't see a lot of in the big city. And that's.
Are you helpful? Because a lot of refugees and bad people. Help.
Load who you can on board.
Okay. I'm going to mind link to Gent and say we're going to need, I don't know, I'm going to guess, whatever. Squad D. Squad D is the people who can't run. We need them loaded first.
All right.
The people that are right in front of Gent, that are Gent's kind of ushering them out. The people that just arrived.
So yeah, how many can we fit on board?
Edward,
hold on. Go, wait. I know I just told you to go to the woods. Stop for a second. Hold on. Change the plans.
Let me go.
20? 30? How many can you take? Running numbers.
Let me just. I am going
rules reference, and I will let you know.
Rules reference is. Let's see.
I thought you
Skyboat.
said 20 earlier.
Something like that. It can hold. Oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong. It can hold 2 crew members. It takes 2 crew members to operate it, and it can take 12 passengers. So that would be, 12 regular sized passengers. If you've got any very, very small people.
Or
you
children.
could probably fit this. Or children. You could probably
Squad
grab some
G.
kids.
Children.
Children. All the children get on the skyboat. Okay, so grab as many children as you got. All the kids, put all the kids on the skyboat.
Yep.
All right, so you're going to tell them to put all those kids in the skyboat? All right.
Yep.
All right, here comes the boy.
Mm-hmm. Hello,
boy. So we'll sort of round up those people, push them back. Everyone else, whoever can get into your prearranged squads, which I'm sure includes a few people who can do defense in each one, right?
Yep.
Sounds like Seth and stuff this all out.
Sutton's used to dealing with large groups of people. And she's used to dealing with large groups of people who've been drinking, so she's good. She's got this.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of large groups of people, but here we are.
That's why that was my division. You're just the morale officer. And in charge. I'm not in charge.
Here comes this block of people that's going to get out of there. Climbing into the usher into the, like, little kids climbing up it. Can I ride on the horse, man? No, he does not like that. No. There'll be no riding of the horse, man. Can I wear the elf's hat? Be gone, human. All right, that's pretty good. All right, I think at this point, the cards are coming out. Because here comes the badness. Here comes the badness. Comes the monstrous evil of bad people. Let's see. They are getting close to the one. All right, and if anyone has the Star Wars music from the TIE Fighter attack, they could play it right now.
I was thinking Phantom Menace.
All right, so coming out of the woods at this very moment, you see a couple of the Skelelots getting close. You can see them when there's one here, and there's one over here.
Oh boy.
And alright, and it's initiative time on the initiative board. Everyone's in the initiative. Okay, here comes initiative. Alright, so what happens is everyone gets dealt a card from a standard poker deck, including 2 jokers, and it just goes from high card down to the lowest. From the black joker is the highest, down to the deuce of clubs. All right, who is on the top of the initiative order? Does anyone have? I don't think anyone has quick or level-headed, which are 2 edges that give. Oh crap! Did Mortis drive Joker in the first goddamn round? You bastard! You right, bleeding bastard!
I am going to use 10 power points on my burst right away. All
right, write your goddamn 10 extra power points on your hand. Okay, the Joker's wild, which means everybody gets a Benny. Every player character. If one player draws a Joker, every player gets a Benny. Every player character gets another Benny, and I'm putting them in right now. Sethin, Benny. Okay.
Oh wait, it says recover 10 power points when Delta Joker in combat.
Oh yeah, I think so you just recover. So you're at full basically. You pop back off. Yeah, you don't get the. But it's other. Yeah.
Now is that at the beginning of the round or the end of the round?
I think that's as soon as you. I'm pretty sure
it's dealt.
Yeah, I think as soon as you get it. Yeah.
Dang it! I wanted it to be the end of the round so I could just dump 10 power points into a spell right away. Okay. I have that card where I can use.
What's it called? It's
Power Surge.
Power Surge. Let me just take a quick look at the actual write-up of the. As the power surge is the. That's
edge. Yeah.
It's an edge, yeah. Power surge. Yeah, it says recovers 10 power points when his action card is a Joker. So I think it would be as soon as you get dealt the card.
Okay.
I would think, yeah, presumably. Okay, so yeah, you go and you so you have a Joker. That means you get +2 on all trait rolls and damage, in addition to the damage bonuses you get from the ley line.
Oh.
And you may act at any point in the round and interrupt other actions. At anytime you want to go.
Okay. Well, we need the rest of these Skelelots on the map so I can destroy them with Burst. I guess let me ask you this though. I still haven't seen the big bot yet, right?
I don't think at this point you might have. Make a notice check at -2 for tree cover when you're on the ground level.
Okay.
Make a -2 for notice check. Your notice is, I see it. It's a D8. You have a good notice, actually.
Good.
That's pretty good for a starting character, yeah.
That's a -2, right?
-2, yeah. Oh God
man,
damn.
3 raises.
Oh.
I saw everything.
You saw that. Oh, God. I saw
You see those
everything.
ants
It's
over
right there. There it is, right there.
All right, so let me ask you this. If we had a frontline fighter, I'm assuming I'm familiar with this. Do I know what kind of chance I personally would have against this thing?
Yeah, your impression of these things is that they are pretty. You gotta get a pretty lucky shot to destroy that. How much damage do you do with your laser sword?
It's armor piercing like a boss. I know that. One sec. It's pretty great. Strength, which is D10 plus D6 plus 8. And it's armor piercing 14.
Armor piercing is 14?
Yeah, it's 12 naturally, and then on my glory roll or whatever it was, I got the weapon. It added +2 armor piercing. And then I have the whatever weapon thing to
all right, so okay, all right. Let me just pop by I'm gonna swing over to the wounding chart, and if you go to the wounding chart area of Savage US, if you actually go to the website and you click on calculators or click on wounding chart, you'll see a little note at the bottom of it. Because I actually I may have had a little something to do with this actually existing on this site, because I originally created this chart myself in a spreadsheet on Google Docs, because here's the thing about armor piercing that's a little normally in Savage Worlds, like if you're just playing like the fantasy version or something, and there's not a lot of tons of armor, and not a lot of weapons are like heavily armor piercing. It's not that hard to like just do the math in your head. But for me, after like 2 beers with rifts with like huge armor totals, like well into the double digits, and people with double digits armor piercing, I just couldn't hack it. So I created a spreadsheet to do all the math for me, which saved my life when it came to running this game. I was like, okay, I can just plug in the armor and the toughness together and just have the spreadsheet tell me what the target number is for the attack. And I posted it on the Savage Worlds like Facebook group, and the guy that runs this website saw that and went, "Oh, that's really awesome. I'm going to put that on my website." And then he gave me a lifetime membership to the website as a reward, which was awesome of him. I thought that was really cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I have Jeff Gordon. I love him. He's a very cool guy. And so, all right. Yeah, you have wait, how about was your armor piercing?
14.
That's a lot of frickin' armor piercing, man.
Yeah.
That's really like heavy railgun armor piercing. That's nasty. And you do what's the rest of the damage?
D10 plus D6 plus
like a 5.5, 17, plus 8?
Yeah.
You would need a lucky shot to get through the armor on this thing.
Okay.
And is that mega damage? Is that considered mega damage? Does it say?
It does not say mega damage on it. But I get
okay.
A +1 to hit, +1 to parry, and a +2 to damage because of my trademark weapon.
Oh, that helps. And you had a +2 for the you don't have smite as a power, do you?
I do.
Oh, because smite, you can
that
you can do like
on top of my weapon damage, right? Smite.
Yeah, and you would have like mega smite. You would have what's it called? Smite, because you have everybody has smite has this in this group because you all have master of magic, master of psionic. Greater smite, and you do mega damage. You would convert it to mega damage. You would just be channeling so much mystic energy into this sword that it would just be like it would be like in Secret of Mana, you know, where you would hold down that one button and the sword would go and it just blows everything up on the screen. That's what you're doing. It's like this mega power up, you know. Or if you were coming down with it, you'd be like there'd be all these lines streaming behind you, and you would like an anime, you know. You know, and it would show like it would show the entry point of the sword like 3 different times from 3 different angles, all happening. Yeah, so you with a raise you could get +6. So what was it? Was it D10?
So, but basically, if I get lucky and put everything into it, I might be able to one-shot this giant.
Let me see. What was it? Was D10 plus what?
D10 plus D6 plus 8.
Plus 8, and then you would get. If you had a raise, you could get 6. Gain extra points of damage. It would still take a pretty lucky shot. But if you got a raise on the hit itself, you'd have another D6. So that would be.
But I'd feel confident I could maybe fight this thing if I absolutely had to.
You could give it a shot, and of course you can always bending your damage as many times as you want. You can just keep bending your damage. It doesn't matter what you roll on the damage. You just pick the damage result you like the best, and you have a +2. You have a +2 damage, +2 to hit, which is almost guaranteed to get a raise. Because you got like a +4 to hit this thing at all anywhere.
Yeah.
And and you could try to target the pilot compartment, because if you can get that sword through that armor and into the pilot, it's game over for that robot because the pilot's done.
Yeah, I could do a called shot to go specifically for that, right?
Yeah, or try to go for the big, it has that giant railgun pointing out. That's the biggest threat this thing has. Is that huge railgun on the shoulder. It has, and that railgun, it has pretty much limitless range in terms of this level of combat. And one shot from that railgun is going to kill any one of you immediately. One hit from that railgun, and even on an average or even slightly less than average damage roll, is likely to just smear you, because it's a huge heavy railgun. It's just launching this ball of flechettes at you that just could tear through almost anything.
Okay.
It's an extremely heavy weapon. So definitely the robot is a priority. And the gun, or if you could take out the head area is kind of where the pilot's going to be. There's a pilot in there. It's not a robot. It's a robot vehicle. There's a guy in there.
It's an AT-AT.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it's just stomping through the woods coming, and it's really dangerously close to you. Okay. If it draws a bead on you, you're in trouble, because it'll.
Yeah. All right. I didn't say this, but my armor is definitely powered up, right? Like.
I would assume so.
Okay.
You probably powered your armor up while you were running.
Yeah.
So that's
the moment
probably
I saw the Skelebots, yeah.
Yeah, you were like, shield's up. So it is your go. So if you want to make something insane happen,
Yeah.
with the Joker,
Well,
now's the time.
is there more Skelebots, right? I rolled that super high notice check. I'm trying to go with whether I just kill all the small things at one time, or whether I try to go insane and kill this big thing.
Well, it's a tough one. It's a tough call because the Skelebots, they can, their weapons are also pretty lethal.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I was saying, because I could do burst and focus it into the biggest area, and then mega power that for the damage, and, like, would that kill a Skelebot if I go full damage on a burst?
How much damage, let's see, burst is...
It's 46 if I mega it.
And you get 5 if you get the raise. Yeah, and I think, can you do extra?
Well, and I do extra damage because of the ley line. I have double range because of the ley line.
Yeah. And
I can make it a heavy weapon and add +2.
Yeah, you would want to do.
So that would be 6, 8.
Well, no,
it's 8 of my power points at one time.
It would be mega. You wouldn't have to. It's mega damage. If you do the greater burst, it's mega damage.
Yeah.
So that's built into the greater thing, which you wouldn't be able to do if you were a lesser spellcaster. But you are not a lesser spellcaster. You are the real deal.
I can't do the Suede power modifier heavy weapon on top of the mega damage?
No, it's the same. No, because it would be redundant. It doesn't stack.
Okay.
You can add armor piercing to it. You can add an armor piercing up to AP 6 by adding for every 1 power point you can add 2 power points up to AP 6. Yeah, AP 6. So you could go up to AP 6. You can add this for 3.
Take 9 of my power points out of my 15, but I have that card that gives me another Joker, and I'll recharge 10 more power points.
You would. Yeah, you would.
All right. So what I'm asking is, if all the Killbots are in an area where I can cone burst them to death, that's going to be my first move. If not, I'm going to run for the... All
right. You have a burst. You have is a fan of energy, so you get a cone template.
Mm-hmm.
Let me grab the cone template. You would probably have to try to get them into Is that the only damage causing spell you have, or do you have another?
No, I have bolts as well.
You have bolt?
Mm-hmm.
You might almost be better off.
Well, that's what I thought you said. There were more Killbots than what's on there.
It's just that they're not grouped together enough where burst is going to hit more than one of them at a time.
All right.
However, you can do onslaught, which does rate of fire 2, or you can do greater bolt, which gives you, and then you can cast that up to 3 times in 1 round. But you're at -4.
It gives me a -4 for each one.
Yeah, but you got bennies, and you got the +2 for the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only a -2.
All right.
You can go, and you can just like Doctor Strange. You get the
too many combat decisions going on here. That's what I'm going to do.
There's a lot of choices.
Are those 2 that I see are the only 2 Skelebots, though, or is there more?
There's only 2 that you can see clearly. Let me get a closer look at the map and see if there's any others that would be likely to be. I think you would actually. I feel like you would be able to see. Oh, I'm in the wrong.
I just rolled a 17 on notice with a triple raise.
That's pretty good. I'm going to say you can see this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you see that one, and of course you see this one, and you see that one. This one is going to be a little bit more of a penalty because it's behind a little bit more cover. This one is, you got a
Which
pretty
one is
clear.
That? Are you pinging them or?
I'm pinging them, yeah.
Okay,
that one and
pings.
Oh, you don't see them? Let me see. Let me try that one. That one you should see, and that one's very clear, and that one can see you too. So. It's like it's just sort of bloop, it's just looking right at you. It's looking right at you, and it's like it's getting ready to go Hawaiian. And you see this one over here is a pretty clear shot. He just has a couple of trees in the way, but you can see him pretty clearly. So no penalties to hit him or him, -2 to hit him for cover. But otherwise, you would roll your spellcasting 3 times in a row separately, as separate things.
Okay.
You'd be at -4, but +2. And I don't know.
I have a 12 plus 1.
Yeah.
In spellcasting.
That's pretty phenomenal for a starting character.
Yeah, well, I dumped like literally everything into spellcasting.
that's pretty amazing. That is really something. Yeah.
Okay, so So for the first one, there's no penalties, right?
No. The penalty applies to all of them.
All 3. Yeah.
No, there's no cover penalty on the one on the left.
Okay.
So you're going to roll spellcasting. So it's going to be as follows, and I quote, exclamation point, your spellcasting is 12, right?
12.
Right, your target number is default, it's 4. It's a size 0 object. So it's going to be -4, +2, +1. I think that's it. I think those are all your modifiers for that first shot.
All right, here we go. Oh no! Come on!
All right, you can Benny that. You can Benny that and roll it again if you want to drop a Benny.
I'm totally doing that. Yeah.
You're dropping the Benny. Here we go back to the initiative tracker. Okay, Mortis drops a Benny. You had the extra Benny anyway, because you got the Benny for getting the Joker in the first place. So, how did you do on the second shot?
There we go, with a raise.
All right, let me get to the actual exactly perfect. Oh, you know, I had this open in a separate window. I never pay attention to what I'm even doing myself. All right. Let me get you an exact target number that you need, because I have it in my stuff. Let's see. Let me go get to the stuff. No. All right, get this other window open. Okay, I know how to do keyboard shortcuts. Scalabot. Okay, oh boy. Okay, let me get Scalabot. It's got the, let's see. It is a... Alright, Scalabot's not as tough as the Baron Robot. Okay, and your armor piercing is... Oh, did you put armor piercing on that?
No, not on this one.
Okay, so that's 0. Okay. Alright, so what you're going to roll, you got a raise, and what was it, 546?
It's
you did onslaught.
46 with a raise. And then, don't I get, what was it for being in the ley line? +2?
+2 damage. So you get, so you got bolts, you did onslaught. So I'm going to go back into the, oh boy, where is it? I'm going to pull in the PDF. Mega Powers list. I should print this out. Bolt, onslaught. Onslaught is not onslaught, greater bolt. It's 5d6 because you got the raise. Mm-hmm. So you're going to roll exclamation point D or 5d6 exclamation point. The T is 7. Okay, now I have to do math. Thanks a lot.
Oh, sorry.
All right, it's 30. You did 30 points of damage. Its toughness and armor adds up to 17. Okay. So you did. Let's see. You did 30 points of damage.
13. Is it minus
the? 13 points of. You did 13 points past its armor. So you So you needed. All right. So let's see. You need. So you did 13 points past its armor. You did 30 points of damage?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. Yeah, 30 points is a lot of damage. Yeah, you hit this thing, and there really is nothing left of it. Arcane, what color is your
My bolt is lightning, because I am a Sith.
Okay. Lightning. So you have you do a lightning... Mm-hmm. A lightning trapping. I wonder if is that a weakness on them? Let me look. Let me look at that.
If I know a weakness too, I have Wizard where I can change the trapping to whatever I want.
That's actually true. Yeah. No, it doesn't show any. No, they don't have any weaknesses to lightning, supposedly. But nevertheless, so your lightning bolt just hits this thing, and it just goes. It just kind of melts. I mean, it doesn't. It just sparks, and it just kind of melts, and the pieces that melted explode, and then they melt some more, and then those little melted pieces all explode. That's an extremely dead Skelebot.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just the first
off the table. That's the first one. Now you're going to roll the second one.
And this time I get a -2 as well for the cover, right?
Yeah, cover. Yeah. So, well, the same thing you ran before. So you can just copy and paste if you want.
I didn't put the exclamation point.
There you go. So you can just copy and paste it. Sometimes what people do is they open a separate notepad file in the computer and just type it in there, and then you can just keep copy and pasting it into Discord. That makes it a little faster. Oh, did you roll that? Did you just roll that?
Yeah.
Oh,
I got another raise.
Roll the copy and paste the damage. This time, if you want to make it a little easier, put T17 before all the bonuses and penalties. So put your damage exclamation point after the damage die.
Yeah.
So exclamation point 5d6, exclamation point T17, and then and add the +2 at the end of it. You get +2 on that for the Joker. You get +2 for the Joker and +2 for the ley line.
Shaken, 3 wounds.
Oh my God!
Oh, I made this character for combat. Yeah. It's working.
That's exactly You just. But this is like go time. I mean, this is a battle for life and death. Not just your life, but the lives of all the people behind you. So this is a frontline assault. All right, you got the last one. You gonna leave him standing, or are you gonna put him? You're gonna turn him into slag.
Yeah. Looks like now this one, do I get the -2 for cover, or
no? This one you can see him pretty clearly. He's a little closer to the tree line.
Why didn't it copy the exclamation point? I don't know.
Oh, who knows? It's Discord. It's trying to mess with you.
Yeah.
It's trying
to take away my moment, is what it's doing.
Yeah. I want to get at least everybody into one combat round here, so I'll go as late as we have to. I don't know if anybody else has to go to bed. Oh, God damn it!
Still didn't do it. What is going on?
Just
God damn it, fucking Dave.
Control V.
Yeah. There we go. Thinking. Oh.
Oh! Benny?
Yeah. Might as well.
Bennying it.
Yeah, one more time.
You actually succeeded because you put the -2 in there again.
Oh,
there was no -2.
You're right.
Well, that was the basic. So to be a basic success, you'd get the 46. You get everything but just change a 5 to a 4.
Okay.
So copy and paste the one with the 5d6, but just change the 5d6 to a 4. It's at the +2 to damage for the T17. +2. Oh, I'm sorry. It's actually +4. You get +2 +2 because you get +2 for the Joker and +2 for being on a ley line.
Okay. So
how did you do?
It would have been 12 then. After
everything. So you. All right. Well, it wouldn't be enough to do anything to it, but you can Benny the damage if you wish.
That's all. Well, I have the ability to do another Joker. Yeah, I'm gonna Benny the damage.
All right. So that is Mortis dropping another Benny, and he's gonna Benny the damage. Roll the damage again and take the better of the 2 results.
Okay.
So you just copy and paste that. You don't have the Elan Edge, do you?
No.
And don't forget, too, if you're running out of Bennies, there are at least a couple of characters that have Common Bond that might be able to give you one of theirs.
T17 +4.
You just got to hold him off. He's shaking. Okay. All right, you got him rocked back. You got him rocked back a little bit. You can Benny that again if you want, or you can just leave him as shaken where he would just have to roll.
All my Bennies.
Yeah, I think you've lost you. I show you having 3 left, I think, or did you spend? Well, you got the one for the Joker.
Yeah, you got the one from the
Joker.
Joker.
One for the Joker, and somebody got a bonus Benny for doing something amusing.
I did.
Yeah. That should have been 3 out of the 4 I had available.
Okay, so you have 2 left. Okay, so you have 2 left. All right, that's not too bad. All right, so he's shaken. Okay, next up in the turn order is whom? Is it the leader? Enemy leader. That's going to be everybody. All the bad guys are going to go on the same initiative. So the first thing that happens is this Skelebot that was shaken, it now has to make a spirit check, and it gets +2 because it's a construct. Constructs get +2 to recover from shaken. A little bit because they're like that guy in the movie Upgrade, where he's just kind of robot combat, and he's just like, he's rocked back for a second, but he comes right back. So he's going to go. So it's going to roll spirit, but a spirit is not good, and it's an extra. Extras do not get to roll a wild die. When I roll for an extra, so here I am in the chat. Skelebot rolls to unshake. It rolls spirit. Spirit is only a D4, but it gets a +2 to unshake, and it just has a target number of 4 to try to roll. It rolls a 6, and it is unshaken. And it unshakes. And it moves out of the woods, comes on the edge of the tree line, and it immediately opens fire on the combat mage. It points a laser rifle, and it opens fire. It's an auto fire. Rate of fire is 3.
It is, however, is 15.
Okay, this could potentially hurt. Do you have that's including your protection spell? Do you have protection?
No, I don't have protection.
You should always carry protection. All right.
You make a good point.
All right, so it's going to roll shooting at you. Now here's what it's going to do. It's going to go roll. It's going to go 3E8, which means it's rolling an auto fire. So what it gets to do is it gets to roll 3 trait dice. It doesn't get a wild die. It just gets 3D8. It's rolling on the table here, and basically what it needs is every 4 or higher that it gets, it's a hit. If it gets a raise, it's going to do more damage. So you might have to spend bennies to soak, and you might have to get some bennies from your teammates. So 3/8, and it doesn't have any other bonuses. I don't think. No, I get a +1. It's a +1 to shoot.
Game play-wise, RP, how would we spend a Benny for somebody else? Like, Stefan is up in the air and she can see this happening. Would she just yell out, on your left?
Yeah, it's that kind of thing, yeah.
Classic.
Pretty much. But you have to have common bonds to be able to do that. So
I don't know that I do.
Yeah, if you don't have common bonds, you're not able to. I had to put my phone on the charger because it just said low power mode. So I am not sure how I'm going to do that. I guess I have to put you on the charger and hope that this is going to be good enough for close enough for government work. Here's my guidance on this. And I guess I'm going to see if
So is common bond on the character sheet, or is it just because, I have a common bond to Gent?
You would have a common bond is actually an edge.
Okay.
And let me know if I'm echoing or anything weird with my phone. I'm just using the basic phone speaker phone thing now.
Cool.
Nope. Is it okay?
Nope, you sound good.
Yeah. All right. Actually, we don't have that much time left. I thought I could put on my headphones. Oh, let's see if this works. All right, can you hear me?
Much worse.
Yeah, now you sound way worse than you did.
The microphone is rough on that.
Back off. Yeah. All right, where's the garbage can over there? No. All right. We're back on speakerphone. All right, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, so here it goes. It's attempting to shoot you. It hits you 3 times. First damage. And so what is your toughness and armor?
My parry, right?
No,
Oh, no.
it's your toughness.
Toughness is 15.
Toughness is okay. What's the number after it?
6.
There's a number 6. Okay. This is not going to go well. Possibly. Well, it depends. Maybe it'll roll crappy. So you are more.
If I die, I'll die doing what I loved, killing these bastards.
If you die, the Blaze of Glory rule kicks in. Did I explain Blaze of Glory? I explained it in a fairly popular TikTok that I did a while back. Blaze of Glory. If you die,
when I followed you,
fire Blaze of Glory, and Blaze of Glory means that you're going to get all your bennies back. You lose all your wounds, come back, and you die at the end of the session by doing something spectacular.
Oh man. Yeah, I actually kind of want that to happen now, then.
It could happen. Something really amazing could happen. Also, there's also a card. Somebody has the card that lets you pick any power that you want to use from the game.
Yeah.
Also, so there's always that as well. So like you could take the card and be like, so it's 15, and what's after it? 6, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the target number, so the armor piercing on this is 4, so the target number is 11 for you. So the first damage is basic damage of 46. It's 46. The target number is 11, and it's no bonus damage, and that's it. We'll see what happens. Okay, you take a wound off the first one. You can spend a Benny and attempt to soak it by rolling Vigor. The success on the Vigor roll will negate the wound.
Yeah.
And you're also shaken.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that because if I take 3 wounds, I'm down, right?
If you take 4 wounds, you're down.
4
wounds.
Wounds.
3 wounds, you're hurt pretty bad. 4 wounds is when you're incapped. Yeah.
All right.
And you have to start when you bleed out. So your first, so this is like a reactive roll. You would right now roll spend a Benny and you roll a Vigor to soak the wound. So you would drop a Benny, and there's no penalty to this. This is just a straight up roll. You roll Vigor.
Yeah, I got a success and a raise. 9.
Oh, a success. Okay, so a success and a raise means you are not wounded. You have soaked the wound. So successful soak, no wound. All right, then it rolls the second damage. And it bounces off your armor.
Nice.
Third is you're shaken. And shaken means that on your next... so I'm going to put a little green marker on you there. Third, so that's that. Shaken just means that on your next, before you can act, at the beginning of your next turn, you will roll Spirit. And if you succeed, you're unshaken. If you fail, you just continue to be shaken. However, if you spend a Benny, you can remove the shaken status automatically with no roll, period. And you can spend a Benny to remove the shaken anytime you want. There's certain situations where that comes into play.
Yeah. Where
you might want to do that. Like if there's situations like when it comes to things like gang up, that kind of thing. Or and that was that action there. And the rest, I'm going to move into this, and then this dog boy comes into view. And this dog boy comes into view. I think it's a dog boy, yeah. Let's see, dog boy, and dog boy. Dog boy, yeah. That's a dog boy. And then this other Skelbot also starts coming into view. What's the pace on this? About 8? Okay. And then... Alright, and then this guy comes walking. Yeah. I'm moving some dudes around. This guy goes boom, boom, toom, 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 toom. And he comes into view and starts looking around, but he's going to hold his action. And yep, and these other guys are all going to start kind of moving into the night or the morning. Okay, here they come. They all come running. And others, yeah, and this Skelbot comes into view, and so does this one. Okay, comes into view, and this one also is in view. So there they are. You see some more Skelebots and bad guys coming into view, and that's pretty much their action. This robot comes in, he holds his action to see just to kind of see what targets are available. He's very interested in that skyboat over there.
No!
Thinking about opening fire on it.
With the railgun?
With a giant railgun. Think about that skyboat before it can take off again. Alright, so Gent, that brings up Gent. Gent's action is next.
Alright. Let's see. I have a pace of 6, so I'm going to get up to here.
Okay.
Now, my psychic force field can be modified for additional recipients. The range is stealth, so how far out can I reach that?
Does it say? I might psychic force field. Let me just double.
I forgot.
For additional recipients for +1 per recipient.
But sometimes some psionic powers are self only, but they cost fewer points. Let me just double check the protection spell for the Mind Melter.
The range says self-limited on my character sheet.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you can only cast it on yourself. Protection. Yeah, it's got the asterisk. You have self. You can only cast it on yourself, on your own person. It only protects you and your immediate belongings. Because it's psionic, it doesn't. It's more of an essential thing for yourself. Magic users can oftentimes throw it off and cast it onto other people.
Got it.
But it costs fewer points for you to cast it.
Got it.
It's a limitation. So you can cast it on yourself, protect yourself a bit. But you have other powers. You got some good...
I do, but I can't move all the way in front of... I want to protect the people on the boat. Would be my goal here. And I guess we have to get whoever is piloting the boat. I can't get on the boat yet, but let's say, okay, I'm going to cast Psychic Force Field on myself with greater protection. So I'll have +3, so that'll be a total of adding 4 onto my armor. And that's a D10 +2. So success with a raise. So actually, with greater protection, that adds 8 MDC armor that stacks on top of everything. And also, now that I basically am super protected, on my next chance to move, I will be running up by Lydos and their companion, whose name I forget, whoever's basically driving the boat. Like, I'm going to go be giant psychic meat shield. But I won't be able to get all the way there until my next turn.
Oh, God. Okay.
Go at this pace.
All right, so you are going... Yeah,
unless there's some way I can increase my pace.
Yeah, you can run. Run that you add a D6 to your pace, but it imposes a -2 penalty on your trait rolls for that turn. An additional -2 penalty to any trait rolls you make during that turn.
Oh, okay. Well, then can we say I ran... and then so with -2, I just wouldn't have gotten the raise. So it adds 6 to my current armor instead of 8. because I am using the greater protection.
Okay.
Um,
However, because you have major psionic in addition to master psionic, you can spend additional power points to gain a bonus to your roll.
Do it. You Joker.
Look at a major psionic as one of your major psionics. You can get a plus. You can get for 4 ISP you can get a +2 to your roll. Or for 2 ISP.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and say I spent 4.
You get the 2, and then
so leave us out. So I did get my.
That would give you the bonus.
There you go. Perfect. All right, sounds great. So yeah, I am big psychic meat shield, protecting the boat drivers.
And so roll a d6 for your run.
For my additional run.
So just roll exclamation point d6. That's all.
Yeah. It's a 5.
So move yourself all the way around to the front of the elf there. The guy with the elf hat, the red elf. Yeah, right to the front of that. Okay, so you're up there. Okay.
Cool.
And don't forget, you guys have that.
My link is still open.
The Arcane Spike card, and think about some of the powers that are that are available, because there are powers like mind control.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my turn. So
use something
because I've got that card.
Mind control. You can mind control a dude inside of a robot. He's not protected from, especially from psionic.
But I can't. So, because I don't have that card.
Anybody can trade the cards anytime they want. Don't forget too. You got that power. There's a bit of agency you have there as well.
But no, I'll say that was my turn.
Oh, that was your turn. Okay, so your turn ends, and that brings up the next. Lydos is now on the boat. Has a full turn coming up at the 9 of Hearts.
All right. So, question.
Yeah.
If I were to cast Shrink on that robot, would it also affect the pilot?
I think Shrink really only works. I had to discuss this with the writers of the game. It generally works on like living creatures. It doesn't. It's not like in doesn't work like in Ant-Man. Like you can't shrink a building. Yeah.
What if I cast Growth on the pilot?
That would be bad news for the pilot, I think. Yeah. So what's the well? I'm sure it's within range because you get double the range on it because of the ley line. You get
Well, and I can move as well, so
you can also move. Yeah.
I have a pace of 10.
That's pretty good because you got the 4 legs pushing you. Yeah. Oh my goodness! Growth on the pilot of the robot. That would be for him. Let me see. So growth, casting growth. Let's just grab that out of here. That's a creative use of that power. Oh good lord! This could get messy. This could be a horror check just based on like the thing popping open and God knows what oozing out.
A soup that used to be the pilot.
Increases the recipient's size by 1 for every 2 power points spent. Honestly, just increasing his size by 1 or 2 would probably be enough to like make it very uncomfortable in there for him. Yeah, so it's opposed by spirit. So you'd roll your arcane skill roll against him. He has to roll spirit to try to resist you doing that to him. So I gotta look. What's the spirit die on a UIR1 enforcer pilot? Let's see if that's in the book. It better be. Let's see. Oh, here he is. Oh, he has the spirit of D6, but he is an extra. He's not a wild card. All right, is that what you're going to do? You're going to move out of the boat. You don't have to move out of the boat. You could move out of the boat, but you're safer in the boat as far as getting shot at.
Well, I'm going to move out of the boat because I actually have other things I can do against Calabots too. So.
Oh, great. Okay. So you're going to hop out of the boat.
Yep.
Alright, the boat's on ground level, so that's really not a problem. So you move out of the boat, and... Oh, I see you moved. Okay, there you are. You moved out of the boat. You're right in the middle of the ley line there. And you are going to cast... You incant little Doctor Strange discs and you cast...
What do I roll for that?
And did you say you were spending the card on that?
Yeah, I'm spending the card on that.
On growth. Okay, so so let me just tap that. I'm going to go in and even though Wizard of the Coast actually owns a patent on tapping a card, moving it sideways to indicate that it's been used, I'm still going to do it anyway. Because screw 'em, that patent expired. Alright. You tap your card. So you can, okay, you roll spellcasting, or you roll faith, because you're a shaman. You roll faith.
Okay.
Alright, and whatever your faith is, you're just going to roll S and then the die type, and I don't think you have any penalties or bonuses. I think it's just straight up.
Yeah, no, because I'm assuming I can only cast one spell a turn, right?
You can cast up to 3, but every one you cast after the first is a cumulative -2 to all the multi-action penalties.
Oh.
So it'd be a -2 to cast 2 in that round, or -4 to cast 3 of them in that round.
No, that's fine.
Okay, so you're going to cast. So you will cast your die type of your miracles skill, which is faith, which is D8. So you would roll a D8, and so you just roll exclamation point S8 to cast that on the guy.
We're gonna spend a penny.
You're gonna blow a penny on that, and you're gonna get to roll it again. However, if you get a crit fail, we will have to roll on the just don't crit fail.
Well, but I got a +2 because I have Elan.
That's right. Good call. You got 2 raises up.
2 raises.
Excellent roll. And so this is opposed. It is opposed by the spirit of the target, which is a D6, but he only gets an E6 to try to oppose that. His target number is 12. He has to try to hit your target number. He rolled a 1. Now, when an extra rolls a 1, what I then do is I roll a D6 just to see if it confirms a critical failure. If he rolls a 1 on this die type, he gets a critical failure. Oh my God! Nice. Oh no! Which means he can't send any of my bennies to not be hit by this. You bastard! You rotten bastard! I'll see you for that! Oh, no!
I believe we need some coconuts now for our...
Yes. Oh, Dan. Oh, okay.
Oh, feels like rain.
I'm going to look at the screen, and if this depiction gets too graphic for you, just, okay, give me an X up like that, okay? If it starts getting over the top. But I sense you guys are a tough bunch. But just in that moment, you hear an ear-splitting shriek coming from the inside of the robot as it starts to kind of expand and the bolts and seams that hold it together just start to come undone. The head itself just pops out, and like just this grotesque, what's left of a human figure just expanding out of it from the inside, and it just it's just like imagining like if you just filled up like a He-Man figure with red gelatin until it just was coming out of the joints, and it just gets a big red X across it. It's still on the table, but it's
Felicia.
Blood and gore. All right, at this point, I am going to make the dead boys, the living and the dog boys, and whoever else is in there who saw this happen, they have to make a fear check. As a group roll, when a group of extras has to make a roll, they act as a one single wild card. So they're going to roll. Group roll for enemy extras to not vomit. So they have to make a spirit check. The spirit for most of them is going to be a 6. So they get a spirit of 6 to not vomit. Okay, they keep it together. They don't vomit. They make it with a raise. They don't blow the fear check. They keep their lunches. The Scalabots are immune to it. They don't care. But they see that. But that is definitely the biggest, nastiest, most dangerous enemy on there. And Lydos the Centaur Shaman just... This is the worst... That's the worst day of that guy's life. I mean, putting it mildly.
Yeah.
I mean, he got up this morning, had his breakfast, got it.
He got up and thinking to himself, it's going to be a big day. And boy, was he
It's going to be
right.
a big day, a quick day of going sunshine, walking through the woods in my robot, and just wiping out those disgusting DBs and magic users and just blasting my big railgun, the thing I've always wanted to do since I was a boy. And another big day. Another day of doing what I was trained to do. And just in that moment, when he's like, walks out into the clearing, and oh man, the skyboat. I've always wanted to blast a skyboat with this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna savor this moment. I'm just gonna savor this moment of blowing up is that a centaur in the skyboat? Oh, this is awesome. This is great. Oh my God! I've got the recorder on. I'm gonna record this. I can't wait to get back to the base camp. I'm gonna email the video of this to my wife. Oh my God! Look at me! Oh, what's happening? Why am I getting bigger? Oh crap! Because it's risks. That's what happened.
The moment that happens, I think you hear Mornis give out huzzah! As he's charging forward.
Oh, yeah.
Gentry vomit in the boat.
That was insane. I can't believe that just happened.
Yep, one of the coolest uses for the alert spell that I've ever seen.
Yeah. There's going to be some revisions to the Giant Robot Handbook. It's just bear in mind, and they're going to get that little slideshow presentation. Bear in mind that this could potentially happen, because this is all being recorded on video. This could potentially happen to you. Just keep that in mind.
They got to build it with breakaway points.
Yeah,
the Rumple Zone's been in reverse.
They have to redesign this thing just in case somebody uses growth on the pilot. Mm-hmm. Well, that was that round. That was that action. Now we get to Sethin. The 7 of Hearts is the next to go. The last to go in this round is Sethin. Sethin, you can take up to 3 actions. There's a lot of targets if you want to do any combat.
Sethin is shaking, very visibly shaking, and the 2 who are linked to her mind hear in her head she is singing, "We are the mutant thieves from Tolkien University. We swing our styles, embrace diversity. Homeward day we work and sit." And she's walking forward incredibly fast because she's flying at this point. And study diligent. One day we'll party with Professor Gent.
you hear he's humming along. He knows this song. He's humming along for encouragement.
She's freaking out, and this is her safe song. And she does not know what to do because what she was going to do no longer matters.
She got some good powers, though.
She does have some good powers. I'm honestly like, I'm looking at like.
She's got that same bolt attack that has.
So she was actually going to put up a barrier and try and stop. She was going to put it between the legs of the big thing to make it fall over.
Oh, so like Luke with the wrap it around with the wraparound of the.
Yeah, but that's not necessary anymore.
Oh no,
level in Rogue Squad.
Robot is split. What is this thing behind the dog boys?
Let me take a look and see. Let me scroll up. The thing behind the dog boys. Oh, that's a dead boy. That's an actual dude in body armor.
Okay.
Grunt, a basic combat soldier.
Alright, so she is not as powerful with her bolt. She can...
She's pretty good.
She can do onslaught?
Power.
Okay, 4, you'd spend 6. I could spend 7 bolts and basically do the same thing, right?
Yeah, you can do that. You can do greater bolt, which does more damage, or you can do onslaught, which makes it like a which puts out two separate, like magic missile, like it launches separate ones where it gives a rate of fire of 2, which you can like shoot up. But
gotcha.
But again, dead boys are not as heavily armored as the Skelelots. There's did I? Oh, that's but there's targets of plenty. You got
I have 12 movement.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a range of 20. So if I came to here, I just move her instead of doing that.
Should this attack be a trait roll?
40 because it's doubled. Your range is doubled in the ley line.
That was doubled. Oh, no, it wasn't. Ha! I have an attack range of... I'm going to stay back here. Fuck, no. I'm going to put myself between the ship and the people.
You can spend extra power points. For 1 extra power point, you can double your range. Another doubling, and for 2 extra power points, you can triple your range.
Is this attack going to be considered a trait roll?
It is a trait roll. It is.
All right, Seth, and I'd like to propose that trade your deadly blow for my ace, and so instead of rolling, you automatically succeed with a raise.
Okay.
All right.
You can totally have my card. I'm never getting that close.
Yeah. All right,
I'm not doing melee.
So yeah, I'm gonna give you my ace. I'll take your deadly blow. And yeah, you don't even have to roll. You just succeed with a raise.
Cool. Then she wants to spend how much? It was. You just did this. It was 15 points total to hit 3 times, correct?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. She's doing that because she saw you do it and it looked good, but she does not like to shoot the Skeletal boys, so she's going to shoot the 2 dog boys and the dead guy in the back.
Oh man.
She got the range.
She does have the range, yeah. She can hit pretty much. She can hit everything. Any of these guys. So okay, so she's shooting at the 2 Skelelots that are close by.
No, the 2 dog boys that are in front of the dead boy.
Dog boys, okay, and then the dead. Oh, she's just gonna. She's just winging off.
Yeah.
She's just winging. And what do the bolts look like? What does she cast?
It's weird. Her leyline walker, I assume, would be sort of look like ley lines, but it looks like the darkest part of the blue in it. It looks very shadowy.
Oh, okay, so it's blue, shadowy blue, bolts of sort of magic, arcane force.
Yeah.
So she's just swinging these off, and so she's gonna do multi-action.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. You could do less damage and have a little bit better chance of succeeding, of hitting, by doing onslaught, where you could go you could throw out like rate of fire 2, like 2 bolts over this direction, then 2 bolts over here, and then pick who gets hit by it. But that's gonna do 4.
So the card that I'm being given lets me automatically succeed with a raise?
Yeah, with one of them.
Or one of them.
one of them, and then the other one you would roll for if you want. Or you could, so maybe do the onslaught 3 times, and then you definitely hit with the first one. And not onslaught, greater bolt, and that's a lot of damage. So
okay, I would do 5d6 automatically to
which ones,
the
the
first
dead
one.
boys or the dog boys? The dead boys, you're armored. He's wearing extra armor.
I wish I would have realized that sooner. We'll give it to Mortis so he can just blow everybody up.
I would give
I'm
that.
gonna use my card to get a Joker the next round.
There you go. There you go.
I do the thing to get the dead boy, so it is just I roll my damage, which is.
You automatically hit him, so you're just gonna. You're gonna. Let me get his Let me get him in front of me. Dead boy. Let me get the actual.
So I'm going to start looking into this, but I'm pretty sure I could make some macros on Roll20 to make these rolls so you just click a single button and it would do it.
Yeah, there is a way to do that, and I've been very, very.
I know somebody who built out a lot of macros for Deadlands specifically, and I'm sure a lot of it would translate. I can change that.
Okay. I don't think I have anything else to change that, so.
Oh, what is it? You rolled the damage?
Oh, do I have to put an exclamation point at the end of it?
It's actually, you're actually going to roll exclamation point 5d6 exclamation point, and I'm going to get you the target number if I can just friggin' figure out how. I should have had these stat blocks in front of me, but I'm. Oh, wait a minute.
I really like those numbers. It's a 19.
It's not bad, yeah. Let's see here. Here's the coalition personnel. Here we go. I'm going to write this down. I'm going to let him think your coalition grunt. Here we go. I was looking at the wrong thing. He is 15-7. All right. So so your target number is. So you're going to roll. Oh, here it is. Okay. There's a little. All right. What did you roll? 5d6. Did you? Okay. No. So roll exclamation point 5d6 exclamation point and then T15.
Okay, and I don't have anything to add to that.
I don't think so, unless you made like armor. Did you spend extra points to make an armor piercing?
Nope, I don't think so. I don't know how to do that.
For 1 point you can make it armor piercing 2. For 2 points it's armor piercing 4. For 3 points it's armor piercing 6. And these guys are wearing armor. Like you could negate most of his armor by doing that. It would be effectively like adding 6 points of damage to your roll.
Okay. So I will add.
I'll spend the extra points.
Yeah.
But it's extra points out to each one of these. I know you got.
Got my pencil. I'll just write it in my notes. I have notes. That's what I have notes for. PPE. I had just spent 5 for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then adding 2 armor piercing, or 1 point is. How many is 2 points? Spending 2 more points. I'm spending 7 on this one.
All right, you spend 2 points, you get armor piercing 4.
So what do I add that to? Where do I put the armor piercing for it?
What you do is that changes the target number. If you do armor piercing
11.
4, it changes your target number from 15 to 11. So you would go exclamation point 5d6 exclamation point T11. Oh, good lord! Oh man! And that was who? Was that the dead boy in the back?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Oh, it just goes right through him. I mean, just right. You hit him center mass, and it just. I mean, his arms go in 2 different directions. Like they just come apart at the shoulder, and the guy he just kind of red mists from the center out, and it just. That is not a good look. Yeah, that's actually right then in that moment. I'm gonna make the other dead boys make like a spirit check. See if they're gonna make a spirit check collectively. Do these guys even want to stay? Because this is like in that like in that first Captain America movie where they're running and like they're just getting vaporized by that thing the death ray thing that the Hydra's shooting at them, and it's like these guys are like running in there and there's just all of a sudden their robot goes and like this guy goes and that guy goes and then this guy right in front and this guy is like at this point they're like are they gonna want to stay in this fight?
They realize that we are the definition of fuck around and find out.
They just fucked around. They're starting to realize that their robots out of the fight, and they just lost a bunch of Skelelots just exploded, and like 3 of their guys have just been like vaporized by magic. And of course they're on a ley line, and these guys aren't that stupid. They realize that this is a bunch of magic users and psychics on a ley line that are just laying down the hurt. They just rolled a 3 on their morale check. They're gonna Benny that 1 GM Benny. GM Benny. Gonna stick around for this? They got basic success, so they're like with a GM Benny spent. They are like, okay, I had 4, now I have 3. Okay, I get 1 GM Benny. GM gets 1 Benny per player. And then each wildcard NPC gets 2. And so, you know what didn't go away? I just I'll go after the ley line walker. You still have another attack to do. That was that dude that just got vaporized. You got the 2 dog boys, so roll to hit them. That's going to be at minus, I think, 4 because of the multi-action. So what's your spell casting?
D8.
Okay, so S8 minus 4 to hit the dog boy on the left. And you can Benny this if you get a crappy roll.
I'll Benny it.
Okay, Benny it and roll again. Something drops a Benny.
Yeah, you rolled exactly the same.
Okay. All right,
Hello.
you can again, or you can
She's shaking real hard. She's shaking real hard. She's crying at this point. The song is just sort of like Professor Jen. And she just looks away. She can't hit him.
Okay, so you're gonna okay, do the next one.
Mhm.
The one on the next guy, and see what happens.
Yep, that is a 1, not an exclamation point. And he's minus 4 as well?
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, it's the same.
Okay.
Same.
And I didn't spend any PPE on this, and I probably should. What does the onslaught do? That's another 2 points.
It gives it onslaught. Onslaught makes it like a rapid fire thing, like magic missile. Where you can do greater bolt, which just does more damage. Like onslaught gives you a rate of fire of 2, and then it doesn't cost as many power points, but it just does like your base damage. And then you get to roll an extra trait die to try to, and it's not a great way to go if you're doing multi-action because you're more likely to miss anyway.
Right.
So you're more likely to just throw 2 bolts into the tree. You're better off taking 1 big bolt and just try hoping to nail the dude and do a lot of damage.
Okay. So she'll just spend the regular 1 point and do it again.
Probably just do the extra, yeah.
Nope.
Missed with that one. She could Benny it, or she could just keep the Benny.
No, she's gonna just sort of. She's shaking. She's just holding her head now, and she's crying. She is not happy. She's stopped singing, and she's just sobbing because she just blew somebody up. She's not okay. Yeah, right. She's not okay. She's flying in the air. She blew somebody up, and now she's crying.
Yeah, she's
She's fine. She's got this.
All right. So I forgot that Sienna gets an action, and Sienna's got all kinds of abilities.
Yeah, and I technically had 2 actions left, didn't I? You get 3 actions.
You get 3 actions, but you're penalized if you take all 3.
Okay.
You get a minus 4 penalty to every action if you take all 3.
No, that's fine then.
But he's armed with a laser pistol. He also has a spirit bow that actually does a decent amount of damage. Spirit bow. So it's like it's a magic item. You have one as well. You're both shamans, and it's standard. It's your starting equipment. So he can fire that spirit bow. He's a wild card, so he gets a wild die. He could fire the spirit bow at one of these guys, or he could take it for 3 shots with it. It has a rate of fire of 1, but he could shoot 3 times. He could just launch those off. And
we're gonna do spirit bow.
He whips that thing out. It's got a starting range of 30, so everything's in range. Nothing. It's all short range for him. There's 2 Skelebots right there. He could try to take those guys out. If he gets lucky with the shots, he could try to. You might get a raise on one of them.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do that.
Okay, so why don't you? Sad face. What's the sad face for?
Stephanie's crying.
Stephanie's crying. So
Yep.
all right, he's shooting of 8. So it's for him it'd be
She has the power modifier where she can count an attack as a heavy weaping. Would that?
This is a magic item. It doesn't. It just shoots.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't. It actually. The thing is, it is because it's a magic item. It does say it's MDC. It says on there, so it does do mega damage.
Okay.
This MDC is just sort of like mega damage class. It's just because it's granted mega damage by its magical nature. So they can shoot, and it would be a shooting die of 8. So roll S8. Are they gonna shoot?
Yeah, I can do multiples.
Just the one? Did you do multiple attacks?
I'm gonna do multiple.
How many? You want to do 1, 2, or 3?
We'll do 2.
2. Okay, so it's -2 to hit, but no other penalties. Okay, that's a miss. Sienna has three bennies, I think.
Yeah, she's gonna spend a Benny.
Spend a Benny? Okay, I'm gonna mark that down.
I don't think she has. No, she does not have Elan. Okay. Whoops.
All right.
Blah.
Ooh. She's shooting into.
She's having trouble here.
I'll give her a Benny too.
Okay.
I'm gonna slightly move my arm out of the way so she can shoot.
I'm terribly tall.
You have common bond though.
Yeah, it does say on my sheet that I can.
You have common bond. Okay, so you can drop bennies. You can give bennies to.
Still no.
Still nothing. Oof.
Oof.
How many bennies can you spend?
As many as you want until you crit fail.
Well then, Lidos still has 4, so Lidos will give her a Benny.
Lidos is common bond. Lidos can hand a Benny
Yeah.
over, and she can spend it. Did she spend all of hers, or did she still have some?
She still has. She technically has 2 left because she was given one by.
Okay.
Yeah. Seriously?
Ooh. I think it's not meant to be.
She's gonna do her second shot.
Okay.
Hey, there we go.
There's one.
Basic success. Okay, she rolls. It's 4d6 versus a is it armor piercing? I don't know if it's armor. I think it's armor piercing. I'll look though. It might be spear. Oh no
armor piercing of nothing.
So it would be a target number of 17. So she rolls 4d6. So it's exclamation point 46, exclamation point T17. Roll 11. You can Benny the damage if you wish.
Beating a 17 is not going to be easy.
It is hard to do. Yeah, it's going to be hard to do, especially because you need a 21 to actually destroy it.
Yeah.
Which is unlikely because the max you can roll, I think, is probably 24, right? But if any one of sometimes that's the thing, the ace. So if one of the dice rolls a 6, that's going to keep rolling. So there's always a possibility.
Yeah, we'll Benny the damage.
Benny the damage. Okay, so roll it again.
That's the last of her Bennies, I believe.
Okay.
There we go.
She's got.
Well, shaken.
It's shaken. It has to make a spirit check. Has very low spirit. There's a bonus toward it. So this guy back here, he's shaken. All right.
Not stirred, though.
Not shaken, but not this. Not stirred.
That's all she can do.
All right, and that brings us to the end of the round, and we then discard the cards and we reshuffle. Discard player cards and we reshuffle the deck because there was a joker drawn. So now we re-roll. It's redraw initiative. For next round, round 2. There's no jokers. Oh, the enemy gets a king of spades. That's a tough one. You can spend a Benny to get another card if you want to redraw and get another. Or you just draw from the next part of the deck. If anyone thinks they can beat a king of spades.
Well, I'm going to use my, so that I can get a joker, right? A character asks if the action card is a joker this round. Seize the day. Carpe diem.
If you guys are gonna keep going, that's totally cool. I didn't want to bail out in the middle of a combat, but I do have a situation I have to attend to.
Oh, okay. We could call it. We could call it here and get back to it.
It's up to you guys. But I do have to.
I know it's late. I know you're weary.
I've got like a family situation I got to go attend to. So I will catch y'all later.
Okay. I hope everything's okay.
Have a great night. Yeah, it's. I wouldn't call it an emergency because there's nothing I can do about it, but I do have to get in contact with some people right now. So, have a great night. Have fun.
You too.
Talk to you all later.
I know it's. I know you're weary. I know your plans don't include me. These are tunes.
Freebird.
Freebird. I was like, has there ever been like a dude that like he comes out, like Freebird, like they played it while you were in the bathroom, man.
I actually had a group stop in the middle of a song at a bar I was at where there was live music. Someone kept yelling Freebird, and they stopped in the middle of a song, in the middle of a guitar solo, and started playing Freebird.
That's pretty hilarious. I was gonna be like, like an Onion headline, man startled, man shocked when band actually plays Freebird.
You got Freebird, but you could have Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah.
Where it's full of dinosaurs and necromancers?
Necromancer. Yes, absolutely. It is. Yeah, the Dark Woods.
The Dark
Woods. We could call it, it's a perfect place to break because you're at the beginning of a round. We could break and we could come back, keep the audience in suspense.
That's fine with me, but my work schedule is pretty crazy. This happened to fall on a day where I could do it.
I'm like looking around for days. Like I could do like a Wednesday, or a Thursday.
I could do a Wednesday, but it'd have to be 2 weeks from today.
Oh, really? 2 weeks from today?
I work on a bi-weekly schedule.
Oh, all right. Actually,
I can never do a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Do a Wednesday at all?
I was thinking Thursday nights are my night that I can do stuff.
Yeah. I could do Thursday, but again, it'd have to be 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today.
Oh, 2 weeks from tonight, you'd be able to do it?
Yeah.
Because I have another game I'm running next Thursday, but then Thursday after that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pencil that in.
I can do that.
Pencil it in. This is exciting because I love these characters. These characters are very cool, and I have so much trauma to dish out to these people.
Yeah, and I just want to apologize to everyone how long it took for my first round to decide what we were going to do.
Because combat's like that in this game is just so much going on, but it's a little different when like if you go up against a big, like if it's just like you guys versus like a kaiju
big monster,
you know, one huge, or like sometimes there's like this thing that comes out of a thing and it's got all these tentacles coming out and it's attacking everybody with these giant tentacles and everyone's just, you know, and you're just one thing to attack and there's not 14 different, you know, creatures coming at you at once or enemies. They get, you know, and sometimes there's like chases and the chases get very exciting. You're chasing someone through a city or through a town or you're, you know, there's all kinds of different things happening. We're trying to explore things. And of course there's the shopping trips.
Which everybody loves. That's everybody's favorite episode.
Burtown. You go to Dwemer. You go to Kingsdale, and there's those shopping. Then there's like trying to bluff your way into like the hospital, so you can go and go see that whatever the juicer specialist or something to do detective work and that kind of thing.
Hey, Delirious Game Master, if you're still in Twitch. If you're using Firefox, Twitch has had a lot of problems with Firefox.
I'm gonna drop out. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. All right, you guys. I'm gonna pencil in like 2 weeks from tonight. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think I have to double check. I might have something going on, but I'm gonna double check. Yeah,
we'll get in touch. We'll get the Discord. We'll talk about it in the Discord, and maybe we'll make a Facebook group. Who's on Facebook? Everybody have Facebook?
Yeah, I'm This Abstract Thought on Facebook as well.
Oh, okay. So you're on Facebook. We can make a group on Facebook and set up an event, and it reminds you and stuff. We could think about doing that too.
Mm-hmm.
You can put an alarm bot in the Discord as well. I
didn't know. I didn't know that. It was wild, wacky stuff. Oh, our first celebrity impression of the night is Dana Carvey doing Johnny Carson. I did not. That is some wild, wacky stuff.
Did you know that, Ed?
Yeah. Secondary latent personality replacement, sir.
They love you.
Good night, everybody.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
Bye, everybody. Everybody that came to watch, thank you.
I had a lot of fun. Thank you for letting me come in.
There's so much trauma coming.
Seth wrote it in for you. She is more than willing to give that to you on a platter.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you want tragic backstory? Allow me to warm up.